Heard this before. It's like we go to the altar and then we're ready to go and say I do. So we live, Mr. Man? We're live, Jeff.
All righty,
hey,
Patrick.
What do we got going today? We got some big things going today, man. It's amazing what the things happening today. So
yeah, so Des Moines East is in town, 8-15 against 15-3 Dallas Center Grimes Mustangs, but we are honoring the 2011 to 2015 five-time state appearances and three-time champion, DCG Phillies at the time. So
yeah, Phillies at the time, no doubt about it.
It was great.
I mean, there's a lot goes on with this whole thing and all the different things that happens. It's a big feat. I mean, there's a lot going on with the whole thing. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of support from everybody out there. And you look at this event that we got going out here, and it is amazing. It's just absolutely amazing, the things that Coach Slofsky's been able to do and get ready out there. So, hey, we've got a few things out there that, all the kids are back. What do we got, like 30 kids back tonight?
30 kids, yep.
30 kids.
That's 30 kids. That's 4 former assistant coaches. Lindsay Dittman, Kristen Fredericks, TJ Moore, and Ashton Yassi are all back tonight as well, who all coached our girls those 5 years with Coach Slofsky. So it's great to see them, and it's great to see the next generation of softball kids or baseball kids running around their pack, because I counted about 8 or 9 little rugrats out there. So, and as usual, Coach made this a special event for the girls. For those of you who can't see this yet on TV, down the right field line and the left field line, we have our state appearance flags up. They're down the right field lines and left field lines out of TV view, except for maybe center field camera. The 5 trophies are sitting out underneath the tent as you walk into the stadium here tonight. Beautiful, with a big white tent and a bunch of young ladies and enjoying each other and reminiscing, and huge smiles. And so, as usual, Coach Slofsky has made this a really special night for them. And I'm glad they're all here, and I got goosebumps even just seeing them, and instant flashbacks of amazing plays at the state tournament from all of them.
You're exactly right. That was the first thing you see is 5 trophies sitting up there. And if you are an 8th grader at that time, which our kids were 8th graders at that time, Allison, Janae were 8th graders at that time. That is unprecedented. That is a program builder, and that is all built not at what happened at that time, but what happened before them. And we're going to get into that at some point. But we got the music man, Zach Mulder, up there spinning the vinyl. There's a couple 8 tracks in there that he's going to be throwing in as well. We got on the mic Lance Burt, Mike the Magician, Mike Bynum up there, making sure that everybody can see this, and this will live on forever through YouTube and the things like that. The Apprentice, Ella Bynum, joining virtually, and our new guy, the 12-year-old Tate Valenta, out there figuring out all this technology, all the video, all the audio, all the things that go on to make these productions great, and all the different things. There's a lot that goes into this. It's going to be an amazing night. We got perfect weather out there. It's going to be awesome. So as we kind of look forward now, and we're going to have to take a little break here in the middle because we want to get our cameras set up. So bear with us on how we do this. Again, we're all volunteers on this thing, but we're going to get it going the right way, the best that we can do. Yep. And hopefully all this, we'll be able to go back, Jeff, in 15 years and look at this and go, man, look at that night right there. So we have a lot of programs out there in central Iowa, Jeff, that have been very good. You got Carlisle, you got Winterset, you got Norwalk has been good.
Ballard.
You got Ballard, you got all these. They have their own deal.
Yep.
So what would be your takeaway out of this right here? What would be your takeaway for those programs? Carlisle could fill up an entire town. Winterset could fill up an entire. This is an event for all time.
Yeah, and this is a professional run program. This isn't. It's high school. It's high school kids. But it is a professionally run program. Yeah. It is well calculated. The practices are specific to develop the kids to be good softball players. But I think even more importantly, Pat, is he prepares these young ladies to be good adults first and foremost, right?
Right.
And I think that's what he talks a lot about. You know what? There's only 9 kids that can be on the field at any one time. but to win, it takes all 20 or 25 of you. And if you don't have all 25 equally committed to the program, even as good as you are, it's going to be really, really hard to win. And when I look at Winterset over the years has the same type of commitment. But I just feel that when you're at DCG, outside of a great town, community, full of great people up and down all our streets, you should feel really good that your ladies are spending the summer growing up and going to be great young adults by what they're taught in this program. It's more than softball.
Well, how many times have you seen in the college ranks and in the pro ranks, and high school for that matter as well, all the money goes to football. All the money goes to boys sports. All the money goes over here. All the time, all the effort. I'll tell you right now, from Dallas Center Grimes, if you are a female athlete and you want to excel and you want to get after it and you want to be the best and play in the toughest competition, you want to be everything there you can be, you come right here into Dallas Center Grimes and you're going to get everything you want. Competition, expectations, skill set, the whole thing, and it's going to be an amazing time here. And I've appreciated that out of all the coaches. Yep. You know, you look at the coaches that we talked to over the years. It's just amazing people and amazing process that they have to go through, and the work that they put in for is just unbelievable.
Well, and they're committed to the coaches. I mean, even the assistant coaches. It goes beyond Coach Lofke. You know, I run. I have the fortune. I work in the same employer as Coach Lindsay Dittman. When I run into her, she's the first one. Hey, how's your daughter doing? How's your family? They're invested in you as a family, and it comes across really loudly. So, yeah, you put your time in. You have to be committed. But when you're committed, you get the experience back. You're walking out of here with a great experience. You're gonna, and you know what? I hire people all the time. If I could hire DCG kids all day that went through this program, it'd be gold stars.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even
absolutely.
Think about it. Wouldn't even think about it.
And I think when you start looking at job applications, you start looking at down the road and things like that. If you can do this, and it's not just DCG, it's Boone, it's Ballard, it's Carlisle, it's Winterset, it's Norwalk, it's all these Oskaloosa's and all these teams. If you can play athletics and you can do all these things and have the expectations and all the things that go into being on time, doing the right thing. Not sometimes doing the right thing and doing things right are totally different. But if you can do that, you're going to have a head up in life for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Pat, I mean, so talk about, some of these kids, a lot of these kids went on to play college. Talk about just some of the experiences. I know you're more connected with some of those girls. What did they kind of relay back to you? Like, what was the experience comparing it to DCG softball?
The first time that I ever had a wow moment in what we do here at Dallas Center Grimes versus anywhere else, Allison would have been a junior going to be a senior, and she did not have a landing spot. So she went and played at Urbandale. And it was just one of those things that this is your option.
Yep.
And the coach there, I forget what his name is, but a fantastic individual. His daughter ended up playing over at Iowa State. But what he said and what the kids said is when Allison took the field, it was at a different level. It was a totally different situation, and it raised the play and the expectation of everybody else, because when you get into some of these other school districts, you just do what you normally do. Well, the expectation here, as it is in a lot of different high-level areas, this is what you do. You hustle here, and you're moving high level everywhere you go. Yep. So at there, it was a different expectation. She raised the level of that program.
Yep. All righty, we're getting pretty close here to the presentation. We're about 4 minutes from getting this started. We'll go silent and let you all take in on the festivities. And tonight, we'll be covering and talking a lot about a lot of the former Phillies in this program, as many as we can get through. We'll probably have something great to say about all the kids that are here tonight. They're near and dear to Pat and I's heart. We recognize the dedication that every one of these Phillies made for their 5 years here. It's really important that we want all of DCG Nation to know, as parents and part of those programs, and Pat and I were fortunate enough to be here 10 years, we see you, we saw you, we saw you all were committed. So from one parent to another set of parents, thank you, because it's not easy as a parent to be out here at the grind, and you're part of it too. And without great parents, it doesn't work either. So thank you.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I got to talk to one of the parents earlier today, and we just talked about the challenges on the parent side when you have those younger kids and you're going back and forth on a lot of different things. And I got one kid. Well, guess what? You got more than one, and you got boys and girls mixed, and it's very, very challenging from that standpoint. So, Jeff, what we're going to do here is when they announce the players, we're going to give our own assessment of these players because they're not going to be able to hear what we're saying up top. So we want to make sure that everybody gets their due.
So they're not going to hear this up here?
They won't hear this.
Okay. So we'll kind of talk. We'll be really brief so we don't miss any kid, Pat. We need to be brief. Why don't we go every other one?
Okay. Sounds good.
And, you just say something. So.
And some of these kids, we should know them, but I hope to God that that we're on here.
Yeah.
A lot of this is impromptu here. Improv. Right now, there's no doubt you playing a little "We Are the Champions" right here.
Yeah, big crowd here tonight. The stands are on the DCG side are pretty well full, and we're about 3 or 4 deep in the outfield. Beautiful night here in DCG for these ladies. So super excited to talk about them all night and celebrate not only more importantly their success in being good adults and coming back tonight and being recognized for their efforts. So super excited to be a part of it.
Sure. So, just going through this whole thing right here. All right. You want to go first or second, Jeff?
Yep.
I'll go first. How's
right.
that? All right.
On which state teams they participated. Please hold your applause until all players and coaches have been introduced. Holly Baker, Heredia.
Yeah, Holly Baker.
Illinois. Senior Operations Manager, J.B. Hunt Transportation.
We're going to probably she's Senior Operations Manager, J.B. Hunt Transportation.
Yep.
Madison Carpenter, yes. Granger, Iowa.
Maddie Karp, one of my favorite players, dental hygienist, lives here in Granger. Just one of a really solid player. Again, kind of reminds me a little bit of the freshman for us.
Yeah, Taylor Drazy, internal wholesale Salmons Financial, one of the all-time greats in things like that. You want about a teamer, she's a teamer.
2012, 2013, and
She played 2011, 12, 13, 14.
Karen Eilers.
Yeah, Karen Eilers, Lincoln, Nebraska. Here's no surprise. Brain injury physical therapist at Madonna Rehab Hospital. One of the smartest kids I've ever watched play the game. Definitely a true team player. Had a great senior season to help us.
Yeah, Shelby Freestone on the state team. She was an 8th grader in 2015 and continued to play throughout her entire career.
Taryn Golson Stubbs.
Yeah, Taryn Golson Stubbs, Pleasant Hill, Iowa, civil engineer for Stubbs Engineering. Taryn was a solid player for us in 2011 and 12. Very good, true team leader.
Janae Hanneman, Central College Trios. I mean, she just moved out to Oregon and things like that. This is an adventurist. I mean, you look at all the different things that kids can do. She's the one that goes through a lot of different things. One of the greats. She is an example for all softball players.
Yeah, Rachel Hillman, another. She lives here in Dallas Center. She's sales. She's part of the 14-15 team. Rachel was an incredibly hard worker, worked her way up, did all the little things.
Yeah, Brooke Kramer, I'm telling you right now, when you talk excellence, you're talking Brooke Kramer, and I've got more to say about that during our draft.
Yep.
Waukee,
Paige Lowry is here from Waukee, Iowa, private business, digital marketing and advertising, part of the 11, 12, 13, and 14 season. Let's be honest, the GOAT, one of the greatest pitchers. We may never see this again, not only here, but as a World Series champion for Oklahoma.
Yeah, Rachel Lowry, the sister, obviously from that standpoint, in my opinion, Jeff, probably the best pitcher that this school has had. Not thrower, pitcher.
2015 state teams.
2013, 2014, 2015.
Erica Manning, Dallas Center, Iowa, web developer at WebSpec. She's on the 2015 team. an incredible crafty pitcher, worked her way up, served her time behind the Lowry pitchers, had a great last season.
Lauren Osborne, one of the ones that stuck out the whole thing the whole time, one of the great athletes that the school has seen.
Yep. Jackie Payton, North Liberty, Iowa, front of house manager at Konomi Restaurant, 2012, 13, and 14. One of the best athletes ever here. Sensational right fielder.
Yep, absolutely, no doubt about it. Gabby Rodriguez, one of my personal all-time friends, family friends, things of that nature. The one that stuck it out all the time. Didn't get a lot of playing time throughout, but when she did, she was able to step up and do her job.
Yep. Addie Rosa here in Grimes. She's a pharmacist, but also a second-year medical student. 11, 12, and 13 season. Nobody played better defense than Addie. Solid player all around.
Lexi Rosa, one of the first ones mentioned today that went all 5 years, 11 through 15, stuck out some hard times. A soccer player, a softball player, doing two things at one time, doing some major aspects that is very, very hard on the body. Outstanding athlete.
Jackie Bassett-Smith, Littleton, Colorado, family medicine physician assistant, 2011. She was the start of our run. A great catcher, a great team leader.
Yeah, Callie Schroeder, another one of those kids that was in the 2015 class, stuck it out a few years, and just a grinder, somebody that got into the game and did her job.
Kim Townsend Sukup, living in Norwalk, Iowa, director of assisted living at Edgewater, here for 2011, 12, and 14. Kim was an excellent team leader on the bench. When she got in, she contributed very well.
Tabby Taylor is the example of a kid that was told, and maybe not told, but one that was always on the bottom side of everything, but always ended up on the top side of everything. I mean, you go look at Central College, she's going to be a first team all conference, all state, and she's going to be a Hall of Famer for Central College. I think we just said that one. Yep. Should be at Heidi Tuttle.
Heidi Bridgewater, Heidi Tuttle, Bridgewater, Grimes, Iowa, NICU, Nurse of Mercy, here 2011 and 12. Super fast, good player, good kid.
She was actually she was on my basketball team, Jeff.
There you go. You got Macy Wolf there, quick.
We missed.
No, we already did it. This is Ashton Yassi, Waukee, Iowa, product specialist at Osmore, 2011. She was the one that my daughter looked up to the most, made it clear what DCG softball was all about. Right now we're honoring Coach Lindsay Dittman, Kristen Fredericks, TJ Moore, and Ashton Yassi. Again, Ashton was already mentioned, did coach here in 2015. You want to cover Macy Wolf quick?
I think this coming up. Yeah, there's your Hall of Famer right there, Steve Schlafke.
Yep.
I mean, I think, Jeff, when you start looking at a lot of different things, I mean, Coach Schlafke has meant so much to so many people, and you look at today, what this is all about. This is the pinnacle of his career. It wasn't the state championships. It's right now, but it's always about the kids.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and sports fans, welcome to the Dallas Center Grimes State Softball Tournament Reunion. Tonight, honoring 5 state qualifying teams from the 2010 decade. 30 players and coaches from the years of 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, and 2015 are with us this evening. 22 players and coaches were unable to attend tonight's celebration due to previous commitments. This 5-year run from 2011 through...
Yeah, I got behind a little bit on some of these. So you got Macy Wolf was also out there, Jeff, in
consecutive
You know, you start looking at Macy and the things that she's done for this program, you know, just strength. I mean, I've never seen somebody hit a ball so far and so hard as what Macy Wolf has been able to do.
Yeah.
Played at UNI and did a lot of great things for us as well.
for a winning percentage of 86%. They would go 74-8 in conference play for a winning percentage of 90%. It has been 8 years since DCG produced their last softball state tournament team in 2003. Interestingly enough, this 5-year state tournament run could have been 7, as the 2010 and 2016 teams were both defeated in regional finals. Tonight we celebrate the individuals who gave their personal identities to a team sport. This sacrifice ended in memories for a lifetime. Tonight we celebrate the camaraderie this group developed, the grit and the grind that made them championship people as well as players, and the perseverance and resilience that it takes to accomplish great things. 6 players have come from as far as Arizona, Colorado, Texas, Nebraska, and Illinois to reconnect with their teammates from approximately 10 years ago. The players here tonight were key players in the development of the DCG softball culture. Because of this group, the assumption of success and excellence grew to new heights, where a state tournament appearance was no longer a surprise, but rather an expectation. This group played on teams that were fun to watch, competitive with any team in the state, regardless of class, and in so doing grew our softball fan base and set the table for young Phillies' future softball experience. In fact, we have pictures of this year's Mustang senior class players attending games at the state tournament, as well as being in attendance at welcome back gatherings when the team returns to the state. Thank you to the players and coaches here tonight. You made the DCG community proud of your accomplishments as players and continue to do so in your personal lives. Thanks for the memories you accomplished together. Enjoy connecting with your teammates. Relish your time together one more time this evening, and never forget those relationships that made you the best of the best. To this outstanding group of players and coaches, you are sisters for life. You were, you are, and you always will be forever a Philly. Reunion players, if you would please turn around and face the outfield to receive recognition from those sitting beyond the fence. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your applause and appreciation for the DCG Phillies of 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, and 2015.
Thank you.
Way ahead. Yep. And we're taking a team picture here now with the current Mustangs and former Phillies. So this is going to be a great picture and one for the memory books right here. Look at all these Mustangs.
You know, Jeff, there's a lot of kids that weren't able to make it today for a lot of different reasons, illness. A couple of them are out of the country and things like that. And I think when you, it's anything in life. It doesn't matter what it is. It's hard to get to places. It's hard to go to family reunions. It's hard to get to birthday parties or whatever it is. It doesn't matter how far it is. But there's probably not one person that doesn't wish in the last that's been part of this program in that time period that doesn't wish that they were right here, right now. Boy, we've heard this song a few times. Yep. This came right out of the movie. What was the girls' movie that played baseball during the war?
Yep.
I was like, oh my God, boy, did I get sick and tired of hearing this because I had to play this thing after every one. But this is what Coach wanted, and this is what part of the tradition. So that's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah, check out the news, Channel 8, Channel 13 here, checking everything out and seeing how it goes. And this is a big deal. I mean, there's a lot going on. I mean, how many times do you have success at this level, at the high level that the Phillies then have had? I mean, it's just unprecedented.
Yeah.
You know, I remember the Solon coach saying how hard it was to win one, let alone two, and to win back-to-back-to-back championships is just an unbelievable feat.
Yeah, so my son-in-law's kind of already busting on you, Pat, because you told that Janae lived in Oregon, but
It's Washington. Sorry about that.
But my son-in-law wanted you to know it's Bellingham, Washington.
I knew it was Washington, but they're all the same to me.
It's okay. I booked a flight for my wife to go see Janae in July, and I ended up booking Birmingham, Alabama. So I don't think I'll see her there, but hey.
Jeez. Yep, sorry about that, Janae.
It's
I
all
knew
right.
you were in Washington.
It's all right. I'm just busting on my son-in-law listening in. He's one of only 2 fans on tonight, so we're good.
Yeah, there you go. Rock on, right?
Yeah, so Pat, you know, just maybe really quick, maybe we should just list the young ladies that weren't here tonight. Just mention them really quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
You know, obviously Paige Hanna was part of our senior group. She was on the 11, 12, 13, 14 season and lives in Pella, Iowa as an occupational therapist and recently engaged, so we're happy for her. Then you have Jessica Bales, 2015 team. Allie Boonder, 2015 team. Allie was a strong, young, left-handed pitcher. Alyssa Brandon Schaefer, 2011 and 12. Chloe Carpenter, 2015. Alexis Gates Klaus out of Winterset, 2012 and 13. Emily Ellerman, 2011 and 12 and 13. Emily,
one of the all-timers, right?
Yeah, Emily is just somebody that, boy, I tell you what.
You got to have her on your team.
Yeah, absolutely. I always admired how hard she worked. I believe she battled through some injuries.
Yep.
Obviously here with the same time as Paige Lowry, but that kid cared so much for the team. And she exemplified what we talk about when you got to have a role, and she played it so well. It was so amazing to watch her.
Right. So what I remember out of the whole deal is playing like junior high freshman and things. Well, probably freshman ball, 8th grade, right in that range. Heidi Tuttle had some shoulder issues, and she'd swing a bat and throw her shoulder out. Well, Emily's dad would come in and put her shoulder back in, and right back out they go.
Yep, that's pretty good. Amber Fissler, living in Maple Grove, Minnesota. She was third baseman here, 2014 and 15. Elena Glenn was here for 2012. Danny Wells Heritage, living in Clive, Iowa, a nurse. She was here for 11, 12, and 13 and 14, and we have fond memories of Danny, probably one of the most clutch defensive first baseman I've ever seen. Played some amazing play as a good leader. And, when we really needed a hit or really needed to get on base, she often found a way to get us going.
Yep.
Rebecca Engel was here 2015. McKenna Jungie, 2014. I remember about McKenna, lightning fast speed. That girl could run back then.
Strength, too.
Jordan Lillard was here in 2012. Paige Linthicum lives in Old Palmer, Washington. She was here 14, 15. Paige, again, another tough catcher.
She could play everywhere.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, Callie McMurphy living in West Des Moines. She's 7th grade math and science teacher here. She was here 13 and 14. And again, another part of the catcher groups. And Callie always had a great smile on her face. And kind of a quick, funny story. I remember she kind of got the yips the one year. All of a sudden, she couldn't throw the ball back to the mound.
Yeah.
But it was fun to watch her and coach kind of got her out of it, and she did. And she went on to a normal, season that year. But we started off that one season or second season, and there was a little bit of yip.
It's 45 feet, right, or 45 feet back to the mound, and she'd throw it 30.
Yep. But nobody worked harder, and it was she got back on track. Haley Melton was here 2014.
Yep,
Selena Nolte, she's 2013, 14. Selena, big, strong kid.
Oh, jeez.
Good pitch, good outfielder.
And 6 foot tall, huge volleyball player, somebody that this program really could have used. I mean, she would have been at first base forever there.
Yep, and Allison Ricks O'Brien, obviously one of my favorite kids of all time. 5 year here, currently a nursing supervisor here in Des Moines. The best way to describe Allie for anybody out there that never saw her play, here's the one thing: don't make her mad, because when she got mad, she went to a whole new level. She was good. She was good without being mad, but when you got her mad, look out. And I can remember some epic, let's just say rather aggressive tags at second base. Some people around here might have called it football, but Allie definitely always let you know that she was out here and was always playing hard. Natalie Stevens here in 2014 and 15. Natalie actually lives in Hawaii now. I know that, so I hope Natalie's doing great. Maddie Sweeney, 2012. There's a kid too. Maddie really relished a role, a lot of times on the bench, but she always had the team first, and always remember that about her. And then Bria Dixon-Wolf here in Grimes. She's also an ICU nurse, and when she was here in 2014. And also Coach Dave White. And, he's retired. Dave helped coach a lot with scouting, was instrumental behind the scenes with the girl in 2011. So just wanted to shout out the ones that are not here quick. We'll be talking more about the ones that did make the trip tonight. We're super excited to kind of have an unofficial draft tonight between Pat and I. Tell some, more information about these young ladies that we witnessed and saw why they were DCG Mustangs. So as usual, Pat and I like to talk, so we're going to have plenty of opportunities to talk tonight.
And there's nothing better than talking about these kids, right?
Yeah,
I mean, we know.
Let's start.
That's the thing. I'm going through that list.
Let's start the draft, Pat.
Hey,
I'm giving you the first. Well, go ahead.
All right. First and foremost, we have a sponsor tonight, Jeff. We've got a sponsor for everything we're doing. First Street Tavern, Grimes, Iowa.
Nice.
Right down there.
Yes.
And there's nothing better than First Street Tavern. I mean, I've
been in there a lot.
them. Yeah. We should be getting 50% discount every time we go in there.
Yeah, I believe they still do. They have, I think it's Tuesday night, I believe. I've been there a few times for their trivia night. The couple that ran it, a couple times they kind of put their own. They do their own research, and they did their own work, and we had a good time. But yeah, thank you, folks. First Street Tavern there in Grimes, nice little place, nice little patio to hang out, especially here in the summer, and it's easy access and not too far from home for a lot of us. So walking distance if you need it.
All right. All right, let's get after the draft. We're going to draft everybody. We're going to drag out all these kids. We're going to have our own draft. It's going to be freaking amazing. You guys are going to love this. All right, I get the first pick.
Yep.
The first pick of the 2024 Dallas Center Grimes draft is number 12, Karen Eilers.
Nice. I love it.
Karen Eilers, to me, epitomizes what DCG softball is all about, and this is an absolute truth. Karen's one that got a little playing time here, a little there, and a little there. She gets all the way to their senior year, and this was mentioned in the final year that we went in the season recap. The conversation that Coach Slofsky and Karen had. Karen, I don't know if there's a spot for you on this team from a playing perspective. I don't know what that looks like. We have a lot of kids that are coming up that are very good players. You'll get a shot, but I cannot guarantee you're going to have a spot. And her comment is, I'm there for you. And I'll never forget that.
Yep.
That was awesome.
Yep. That's what winning ball clubs have right there. They're full of kids like that. And Karen, same with me, Pat. Just near and dear to my heart. The family is as well.
So I had to get her on my team.
Yeah.
I don't care what's going on. That's an all-world family, all-world everything.
Yeah.
She's on my team all day.
Yeah, she was way up on my list too, so you beat me to it. But Pat, I'm going right back to our girls' 8th grade year. We talked about it a little bit last night, and I said I was going to draft her first, and 5 days later, I'm absolutely 1,000%. It's Ashton Yassi. So when Janae got here in the program, Ashton kind of took Janae under her wing and made her understand that being a Philly isn't always about playing. It's about being a part of something big and special. And she told Janae, said, Janae, you may never play here. You may not play until your junior year. You may not play until your senior year. But I tell you this, we are going to win, and you need to be here for it because you're just as important as me out on the field. And so it was really cool to see Ashton actually come back in 2015 and be a part of our girls' senior year to help coach. But Ashton, I think, from day one told me and my family and Janae what DCG softball is really about.
Right.
And so we as a family, we're forever grateful for Ashton making that impression on Janae and ultimately bringing a relatively shy girl out of her shell and then having an amazing junior and senior year. So
Well, she's not shy now. She is all world right now. And it doesn't hurt that she's probably a top 5 athlete to go through this school. So you get that as well. My number 2 pick, and actually my number 1A, I was going back and forth, and her parents are sitting right down below us, so I took her number 1. Number 2, Brooke Kramer. I got to have her on my team. I don't care what's going on. I don't care if I'm playing basketball, softball, football. It doesn't matter what it is. Brooke was one of the kids that both of my kids played with. And in my opinion, it's not like I've talked to my kids that much about what's going on. But when Brooke Kramer said, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do. She commanded the infield. She was in charge of everything that was going on. It didn't matter. She played catcher. She played third. She played second. She played short. She would go back and forth. It's like, what can I do? Where you want me to go? It doesn't matter what it is. She commanded the infield. She did everything there was. And I think she was the one that set the tone for my kids to be successful. I've always appreciated that. I don't care what happens, where I'm at, what I'm doing. She's going to be on my team.
Yeah.
Brooke Kramer, number 17.
Yep, yeah, she was amazing. I miss watching her play because she almost played with no emotion. She was super tough. Well, Pat, I must love that class of 2011, and I'm going right back there. I'm going right with Jackie Bassett Schmidt, and this is why. She was tough. She taught. When I watched that team play in 2011, and again, it's our first year being around the program, I always like to watch kids' attitudes, see how they're doing, and Jackie was mentally tough. Jackie was a leader. Jackie stepped into a catcher role, started her senior year, and taught a young Paige Chano, this is what it's going to take. You're going to catch here. You don't have time to worry about, what's going on with you. You got to worry about the team first. And we ultimately saw how great Paige came later. But she taught the catchers that. Yeah. And the one thing I always watch here, and fans, you need to, when you watch the Mustangs play to this day, the toughest kids on this team are behind the plate.
That's right.
And they're all leaders.
And it started right there.
And if you're not going to catch here.
Yep, absolutely.
And Jackie was that.
Hey, there's 4 kids taken right there. We're going to go put some cameras up.
Yep.
Make sure that we got a good thing going here, so we'll be back here in shortly.
All right, we'll take a break. Hang in there, Mustang fans. Actual softball coming tonight here on again, honoring the 2011, 12, 13, 14, and 15 state appearance, 5 times state appearance, DCG Phillies, and 3-time champions in a row, 13, 14, and 15. As a parent, I was fortunate. My youngest daughter got to go to the state tournament 3 out of her 5 years, so 8 out of 10 years. And I always told Coach, I said, Coach, it never gets old. And he always told me, Jeff, it never does. I also want to make it really clear, in DCG, a lot of sports, we're fortunate to make it to a lot of state tournaments. However, making the state tournament isn't as easy as it looks. In fact, the minority, if you think about it, very few schools make it. More schools don't make it in any sports than schools make it in just one. So always remember that even though we got to experience 8 out of 10, we definitely never took it for granted. Each of the 8 was special. So was super excited for that.
All right, hey, we got to get us another couple rounds in here, Jeff. We're going to water the field here after a bit. So
all right,
let's get us another couple rounds. I'm up.
You bet.
We're 4 into this thing. I've got that right there. I got Karen. All right, well, let's see. I think I'm going to have to – I'm going Holly Baker.
Yeah, figured you would.
Number 20, Holly Baker. She was one of the original, I guess you call them the GOATs. You want to talk about strength. She's a pitcher. She's a first baseman, all these different things. The reason – there's no reason why we're specific, it's not an athletic thing. It's usually a kid thing why we're taking it. It's a parent thing. It's all these different things why we take these kids. But Holly was one that drove my kids to the ballpark. So, when you're 13 years old or whatever the case is, for you don't have a driver's license, whatever, and you're going to get in the car. So she made my daughter feel very welcome, very, that 15 minutes back and forth between Grimes and Dallas Center before and after is very, very valuable time. So after the state tournament, Mike Baker is out fixing her car that she took my daughter to practice in, and he's got the steering wheel off, the steering column out on the driveway, and I'm like, Mike, do you know what you're doing here? Well, it can't be that hard and things like that. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I let my daughter drive with you on this thing right here. It's like, take that thing down to finish line and get that thing taken care of. But he was going to get that thing fixed up, and it is what it is. But I think you talk all-world kids, you talk all the different things and the hard work. I got to have Holly Baker on my team all day long.
Yeah, very good. My third pick, I'm going to the kind of a class of 13, and that's going to be Macy Wolf. Macy played, I believe, outfield here for us. One thing I remember about Macy in 2011, I think she had a monster year, and we were super excited to make. So I was super excited to make the state tournament. I remember Macy just having a monster year, and I can kind of remember kind of some undue pressure maybe. A few of us excited Philly fans were, because we're like, well, if Macy did that in 2011, she's going to crush it in 2012. Macy actually had a really good year in 2012, but her 2011 year was so monstrous.
Yeah.
But one thing I loved about Macy, and I'll never forget this, she would ride around town there a little bit. I believe it was a 2010 or a 2011 season, and she was just looking for a game to play, and she pulled up. And Janae was like, we were practicing U12, U14, and here comes Macy Wolf on her bike. And she's like, we're having practice. And Macy goes, can I play? And the girls all just went,
what?
Whoa, Macy Wolf's here.
Whoa. It's like Michael Jordan showing up. And at that time, Macy was like, she was like the god. She was the one that was hitting the ball 300 feet and things like that. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I just remember her playing. She commanded respect on the field. She played incredibly hard. But I loved the kid in her when she showed it.
Right.
And I'll never forget that day she pulled up and all my girls were like, oh, my God, Macy Wolf's here.
Right.
Again, it just showed what she meant to the younger players.
Right. So we should probably recap a little bit about how this was going. We have not scripted this. We have no idea who's taking what, who's on first, what's on second. We're just going through the process. The one thing we did agree on at the beginning is we're not taking our own kids.
Yep.
So I guess I should or anybody out of the 2015 from that matter, because that's just that's a given, right?
Yeah.
So my next pick, Tabby Taylor.
Yeah.
And Tabby Taylor was another one of those kids that, where's your spot? Where's your spot? Well, just keep sticking it out, stick it out. And in the end, she was laughing at everybody. She ends up to be a college softball player that when my daughter was at we go to Central, and she's the one hitting bombs off the scoreboard, and she's the one that's going to end up being a Hall of Famer at Central College, which Central College, from a D3 standpoint, probably one of the most rich traditions in softball in all the D3s in the state of Iowa. You talk about all world, and another one of those kids that always did her job, always got the thing done, and always did the right thing. Just one of the amazing kids of all time. I was disappointed she went to Central. I thought she should have gone to Cole, but I guess so.
Well, she went to a good school in Central, so it's okay that she went there and had a fabulous career, and it was cool to go down there and watch your Allison and Co play Tabby in Central a few times, and it was fun to see them. All righty. You good there, buddy?
Well, let's get us a couple more here. Yeah,
so my next pick, this kid, I had the pleasure of coaching a lot when she was U10 and U12, and it's Madison Guest Carpenter, and we affectionately call her Maddie Carp. And the greatest thing I can tell you about Maddie is every single year. From every year I had her, I believe, starting in U10, U12, watch her grow up, U14, freshman year. Was here 3 years, waited her turn, she was taking over in center field for Macy, I believe Macy Wolf at the time.
Yep.
And every single year, Maddie Karp got better.
Yep.
Maddie Karp got tougher. Maddie Karp, you talk about a kid that just consistently every year got better. It was just fun to watch her. Again, she just showed time in, time out. You put the work in, wait your turn.
Yeah.
And then she, got to play a lot her last couple of years.
And I think that's a key, Jeff, is you do have – it doesn't matter who you are. Every once in a while there's just going to be a kid that they're going to play, right? And it's going to probably upset the trajectory of what you thought it was going to be. But Maddie Karp, I remember two things out of her. Number one, we were at Ankeny and it was raining, and
Yep.
she hit a home run and hit the scoreboard and knocked lights out of the numbers on the scoreboard.
Yep.
And we didn't get to finish the game, so she didn't get credit for we were going to win that game. We didn't get credit for that. The other one was at Alburnett, and during the what is the tournament out there that is it tournament? We were in Alburnett. I don't know, something got jacked up. We had to go to Alburnett for something. But we were in a junker field, and she hit a ball into the tree in left field, which I seriously do not think even Macy Wolf has hit one that far.
Yeah.
It was ridiculously far. It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wow.
Yep.
That was amazing.
Yep. All right, Pat, who you got?
Gosh, I thought she was mine because she's on my list too. My next one, number 17, Erica Manning.
Yep.
The reason I take Erica Manning in my top 5 is because of what she did, not only perseverance throughout her career, but what she did for our younger daughters to go to the state tournament from a pitching standpoint. The hard work, it wasn't one day, it wasn't one game. It was when she was 10 years old, it was when she was 12, and when she was 14 years old, and she's working and grinding and doing all these things in the dark that nobody else knows about, and she steps up to the plate. She finally gets her opportunity to get out there and get after it and dance, and she dances.
Yep.
It was just an unbelievable thing to see her go in and shut these big teams down and take us basically to the 2020 state tournament.
Yeah.
She's the one that drove us there, that 2019, 2020 year. So it's just an amazing thing. I love it when a good story ends like that because not all stories do, but when you put the work in, typically good things are going to happen.
Yep. Yeah, my next pick is, somebody we talked about already this year a little bit. And I think you and I always think probably one of the best true just pure athletes on the team. One of the best defensive outfielders we've ever had. So I'm going to go right there to Jackie Payton. Jackie was a tremendous right fielder, and when you have the greatest of all time on the mound in Paige Lowry, that ball's in right field an awful lot. And Jackie probably made the most ridiculous play in state tournament history on a line drive that to this day I still don't believe she caught it. She did. And I sometimes about once a year, in July, I get this big smile because I see Jackie's catch over and over. But Jackie played really hard. She was just a great outfielder, and she was part of a great defense when she was here. Well,
not only that, a number 9 hitter.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having Jackie Payton as your number 9 hitter? That is like laughable.
Yeah.
That is absolutely laughable. We don't have anybody like that on this team right here, right now. But that'd be like Macy Rilling hitting 9.
Yep.
Right? It's just unbelievable. My next pick, Amber Fissler. Amber Fissler stuck out a lot of, it's just nothing's easy. It's not easy for people. It's not easy for parents. It's not easy. But she got in there, and she did everything that you could want, everything you could need, all the different things. The hitting, the power at Pella High School. She hit one into the tree in center field in there. Just the things that she does on a regular basis. Just an unbelievable kid. I love her. I love her family, and I love all the things about it.
Yep. Yeah. So my next pick, kind of going back to the kind of class younger than us, is Taylor Drazy. Taylor was here for 4 of those seasons. Taylor again also here, talented kid. Played some third base for us, I believe. Sometimes I'm getting old, Pat. I can forget where those young ladies are. But Taylor had some big hits along the way. Again, a lot like Maddie Karp, improved every year she was here. It was fun to watch her play. She had a good attitude about things. She was a good teammate. And so always enjoyed watching Taylor play for us, and just a good DCG teammate.
Right. My next pick in the 2024 draft is going to...
Well, should we talk about the one we agreed we just can't draft because if we had her, I mean...
Well, let's go with pitchers.
Yeah, let's go pitchers.
All right, let's go pitchers. Who are you going to take for your pitcher?
Gosh, you got the 2 Lowry girls, Paige Lowry. I mean, we said it earlier. You're never – that is just an elite talent. And here's the one thing I want everybody to kind of know. She was an elite talent, and she handled the pressure at that time, really good. That's a lot of attention on somebody, Division I athlete, getting recruited. I remember when Missouri was here, she went there for a little bit, and then she's showing up in the College World Series, for Oklahoma. Paige just worked. The thing about Paige is she never took her work for granted. She always put her time in away from the field. She was dedicated to be good, to be great. She had that great. When you're great, you just kind of have that. You're just different.
And people don't realize that for sure.
And she had it, and it was fun to watch her grow up here and figure it out, and become the great player that she is. And
right.
I just have mad respect for that. I don't think people understand when I just don't think people completely understand, Pat, that when you are at that level, that attention takes she pitched 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014 for us. She was also, I believe, a year younger than her class.
That's what I was going to say.
And so think about that just from the pressure. I think of Caitlin Clark today. Look what she's going through.
Yeah.
And the attention, and to show up every day and battle for your teammates. And I got to be honest, folks. 2014, it was some of the best softball I've seen at a high school level. I have not seen that level of softball across multiple teams since 2014.
That team, Jeff, would have done extremely well in a national tournament.
Mm-hmm.
We would have been in the top 10. There's nobody that can convince me that team would have not done extremely well, if not competed in a championship for that. Going back to what you were talking about, people have to realize, which is very hard, these are young kids. Mm-hmm. When Paige was playing U12, she should have been playing U10.
Right.
When she was playing U14, she should have been playing U12.
That's correct.
All right? People don't realize that. She was always playing higher up than where she should have been.
Yeah.
And, yes, that did prepare, but that's also very, very challenging when you're, say, 11 years old and you're playing kids that are 13. So, that's a big difference. Let's take a step back and then go over to Rachel.
Yep.
For me, Rachel would have been the one that I would have chose as my number 1 pitcher, because Paige was a thrower, and she was gonna beat you down, she was gonna power you down, and she was gonna make you look silly because you couldn't catch up to a fastball even though you knew it was coming. Rachel was a totally different drive. She was a totally different individual. She was a pitcher. She was a junker. She had a curveball. She had a changeup that would – you've got no chance.
Yeah.
And we saw that at Minnesota. We saw it all over. We saw it right here on this field. She battled a few injuries out there, but she's also greased lightning. She was the fastest kid I've ever seen on a softball field. From home plate to second base, if you blink, you're going to miss her. She's going to play outfield. You only need one outfielder.
Yeah.
All right? She's going to take out it kind of like what we were talking back in the day there. You put 2 kids on the line. You've got Jackie Payton on one line. You got, say, it doesn't matter who it is on the other side in left field. But Rachel's going to take the entire outfield because she's so fast. She's so good. She's so athletic. She's a track star. I mean, she's got all these things. She is going to be my number 1 pick. But the thing is it doesn't make any difference.
No.
So let's be real, Jeff. Without Paige and Rachel, we do not have 5 trophies down there. You have to have solid pitching.
Yep.
We would have made the state tournament because we had so many different things. But to be a championship team, you have got to have excellent pitching. You got to have all this stuff that goes into it. Fortunate for us, our kids grew up in that area.
Yeah, and you need all 3 facets of softball. You need to have great pitching. You need to hit. You need to be able to hit 1 through 9, or at least be productive at bat 1 through 9. But you also need to be great defense.
Absolutely.
And we won it in 13, 14, and 15. But 2012, we gave up 1 run in the state tournament.
Yeah.
1.
And we didn't win.
Yeah. And so we lost, 1-0. And it was, 2012 was, we had a lot of young people playing. Paige, the class of 14 was, sophomores.
It wasn't our time.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of seniors that year, so we were a young team. Our seniors were playing. Our seniors were great leaders those years. Absolutely just blessed that they were there. But we had a whole lot of freshmen and sophomores playing, and so
yeah, we had a lot going on right there. There's no doubt about it. It's every year these teams have slogans, right? It wasn't our time that year. Well, in 2013, when we won our first championship, do you remember what our slogan was? It's our time.
Yep.
It's our time. Our time is now, right now, and it was our time for 3 years. So I'm going to go put some cameras up, Jeff, so we can make this as good of a production as we can.
All right, we'll take
back.
a break. You bet.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the DCG Girls Softball Complex for tonight's matchup featuring the Des Moines East Scarlets and the Dallas Center Grind Mustangs. The Scarlets out of the Alliance South Conference come into tonight's game with a record of 8-15. The Mustangs out of the Little Hawkeye Conference come into tonight's game with a record of 15-3. At this time, let's meet the starters for Des Moines East. Leading off, number 3, Maya Howard. Playing first base, number 20, Mo Purdy. Catching, number 25, Cora Knopp. Designated player, number 5, Lily Robbins. Batting fifth, playing third base, Gracie Bailiff. Batting sixth, and playing second base, number 7, Olivia Dank. Batting seventh, number 6, Honey Hannibal. Batting eighth, and playing right field, number 2, Brooklyn Purdy. Batting ninth and playing shortstop, number 9, Ava Blankenman. And the flex player, number 8, Graciela Fisher. The assistant coaches for East is Lowell Long. The head coach for East Des Moines is James Gibbo. field as we honor America and those who protect our freedom with the playing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All righty. That was a nice tribute there, Pat, to have the 2011 to 15 girls take the position as the current DCG Mustangs stood out there. And I laughed earlier when Coach said we got pictures of a lot of you girls 9 years
Yeah,
ago watching
right.
these girls.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a special moment.
Like you're saying, to see everybody out there, of that group out with their position group. This, if you're another program with this type of success, and there's several of them out there, you have got to do something like this, because this is an all-timer for you guys.
Yeah.
JAC Tent Rental and
Yep.
Guthrie Center for supplying our reunion tent.
So again,
DCG Booster Club for the
First Street Tavern, that's our
Yeah,
sponsor.
First
now?
Street Tavern.
First
That's our
Street
sponsor
Tavern.
tonight. We'll have to go there after the game, Jeff.
Yeah, I might have to. So thank you. Shout out to First Street Tavern in Grimes. Thanks for stepping up and supporting DCG Mustangs softball and supporting our community. We appreciate you. Stop on out to First Street Tavern. Mention Pat O'Brien and ask for 10% off. See what you get.
Who? Never heard of him. Oh,
If you get the 10% off, you need to call me. I'll be right up.
You better make sure that they didn't add 10%.
coaches will be gathering at 5 Point Restaurant at 1405 Walnut Street, Dallas Center. If you want to stop on out and visit some
That's the old Twisted Corn there.
Yep, we were stopped in there tonight. Looks good. Shout out to
We had
new
water,
owners.
right, Jeff?
Yep, water. Yep, 5 Point Tavern here in Dallas Center. It's great to see Dallas Center uptown just some thriving businesses, and 5 Point is definitely contributing to that. So shout out to the staff there tonight. It was nice to stop in there, and yeah, we used to hang out there a lot pregame, but nice to just go up there and have a water and catch up with some old friends tonight.
That's right. All right, let's get us another draft pick in before the start of this game right here. I'm starting to lose some areas where I'm at right here. My next pick, going to be Heidi Tuttle.
Yep.
Heidi Tuttle, we mentioned her a while back. She was on my basketball team back in the day, and I'll tell you, I've made a lot of coaching blunders in my life, but one of them was with her, and I'll never forget that. But, it is what it is, and you move on. But, as far as she's concerned, God, just a kid that cares, a kid that, athletically, was she the most gifted athlete in the world? No, but she was out there every time, and she's trying, she's working, she's grinding, she's doing all the things that you can and setting the right example for everybody out there that, that does have that ultimate talent. If Heidi can do it, I should be able to do it. And you look at where she's at today and what she's doing in her life, and it's just a great life. She's got 2 kids, married, and, basically, I guess she's working the American dream right now, and I guess that's what a lot of this does for you, the athletics and the academics and the upbringing and everything that you have, she's going to be on my team, Heidi Tuttle.
Sounds great. Well, we're about ready to begin here, Pat. It's now 7:51 p.m. here in Dallas Center alongside 1990 Pee Wee Coach of the Year in Iowa. Congratulations. That's Pat O'Brien. I'm Jeff Hanneman bringing to you live DCG Mustangs softball and stepping into the batter's box. Des Moines East. Leadoff batter Maya Hernandez Howard. Maya's hitting .309 on this season. 1 homer, 12 RBIs.
Yeah, you start looking at, this is going to be an interesting game because there's a lot of banging going on in this team. They hit the
got a lot of
ball.
hitting,
I mean, hopefully this isn't, who knows what we're going to get into. Is this going to be one of those Indianola nights where we're here for 6 hours? Tonight wouldn't be a bad night for that, right, Jeff? I mean, at least it's not 30-mile-an-hour winds like it was against them.
Yeah, senior Aubrey Johansson's in the circle tonight for your Mustangs, 2-0 count.
Jeff, have you noticed from the first game to now how there's nobody in front of us now? Nobody's around us. We had a lot of people around us at the beginning, and now nobody's in the stands anymore.
Yeah, they're getting further and further away. So, pretty soon, I get it. I wouldn't sit up here either by us. Foul ball.
Jackie Payton would have caught that ball.
Probably. I guess it's my turn to pick here. I'm kind of looking down this great roster, and again, we chosen not to talk about our 2015 girls at this time.
We may give them an inning to dedicate to themselves.
But we are going to talk about them because we can't. We agreed we could not draft them because in 2015, when your kids are part of that class, they're on your team, and we're just having a little fun tonight and trying to give a shout out to all the Phillies that are on this list. So I'm going to go, as we're here, 2-2 count. I'm going right to Lauren Osborne. Ozzy.
One of the great names of all time.
Ozzy was, here for, early in the 15 season. Came in, young player, 8th grader, I believe she was on this roster, pinch running like crazy, and she went on to be a big contributor for the next 3 state titles of our younger daughters. But I just remember Ozzy's energy and her big smile, and she really cared about DCG softball and worked really hard. And just a lot of good memories with Ozzy, especially with our younger girls. But she was here for the 15th season. Again, a young player, much like we saw Macy Reiling, in 8th grade with our younger girls. Ozzy and Macy kind of feel a little bit they grew up the same way in the DCG. So when I watch Macy play, I get a little bit of Ozzy in me to watch her. So,
sure,
yep.
No doubt about it. Absolutely.
Yep. In the batter's box for the East, number 20 here is Mo Purdy. Mo, 3 homers on the year, 17 RBIs, 435. So a lot of a thump here. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down. 2-1.
My next pick is going to be Natalie Stevens.
The Nat.
Natalie was one of those kids. She was an 8th grader the year 2013, 2014, and stayed out for a few years. I don't think she finished, but, her entire career, I just remember her going into everything she did was head first. Everything she did was going right to the ball 100% of the time and things like that. And I remember we were over at Des Moines East in a tournament, and she was playing either first or second. Maybe it was right field. It was either first, second, or right. I mean, she might have been in the outfield and does a header right into the fence and took, she had to take 15 stitches in the forehead. But that was the kind of player that she was. It didn't matter what it was, that we were going to get after it. And I remember Coach going over there, giving her a hug and saying, hey, we're going to be okay. Right, we're going to be okay.
Yep.
So, obviously, she had to leave and go get stitched up, but that's my memory of that.
Absolutely. Full count on Mo Purdy, senior for Des Moines East. A good pitch. Mo Purdy with a good eye and a walk. Runner on first.
Yeah, that was a close pitch right there, Jeff. And, consistency is key on that. So if you're going to be that tight on a lot of balls, that's the Mustangs are going to have to be very conservative on what they're hitting on that outside plate. And that's going to cause them to get into the wheelhouse a little bit.
Yep, junior Cora Canoop here, number 25 for East batting. Cora is hitting .424 on the year. 4 homers and 18 RBIs. So East showing their power early here in the lineup. Got to be careful here.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, this team can hit the ball. So I mean, there's no doubt they can hit the ball, they can move it, things like that. So this is no slouch of a game right here. And hats off to Des Moines East, for actually accepting this game right here, because this is a kind of a challenging one to get because of all the emotions that's going on with us. But it just happened to work out for both teams, and we wanted a Friday game.
Yep.
Not a Thursday or a Saturday. We wanted a Friday game, so it wasn't during the week.
Out fly ball to right. Summer Campbell in right field, and Nate makes the catch. Yeah, shout out to Des Moines East for agreeing to play on a Friday night here. Really appreciate them coming out and recognizing that, going to have to stand around a little bit and watch us celebrate a little bit. So shout out to all East fans for being a part of this, and thank you. Number 5 here, Lily Robbins, a freshman coming up here, Pat. No homers, hitting .314 on the season. So, again, some good averages, good batters here for East tonight. 2 down. Ball 1. Well, I'm going back to the draft here, Pat. I'm going right to Rachel Hillman. Rachel is somebody I always remember quite often, actually. Nobody wanted to win more than Rachel Hillman, and Rachel would do anything on the team to help the team win. She worked incredibly hard in the dugout. She worked very hard preparing to play. She pushed the girls in front of her. She had a lot of power, worked hard to improve her defense while she was here to try to get on the field more, and it was given some chances, and really appreciated always. Rachel just brought energy every single night. I don't know if the girl I don't know if that young lady had a bad night at the ballpark, because I think she loved being here, and it showed up every night. So Rachel, I will always remember that. Thank you.
Right on. Absolutely.
1-2 the count. Foul tip is caught. And DCG is out of the inning. Bottom of the first coming up here, Pat. Let's keep the draft rolling so we get all the ladies covered tonight.
Hey, my next one's going to be Chloe Carpenter. And if you start looking at my roster, Jeff, you're probably looking at a common theme. And I always said, when the next time, if I ever get to coach again, I want kids, and I want parents, and I want alignment, and I want this whole thing. And Chloe Carpenter is a teamer. You look at the family; that's an all-world family. From that perspective, mom, dad, the whole thing, and the whole family. But Chloe was one that was small in stature, but large in everything that she did. I mean, she cared. She wanted to get things done. And you show up every day, and you work your tail off every day, and happy with what you get. And this is a family right now, Jeff, that needs some prayers. We're giving you some prayers right now, and we wish the best for that family as they go through some things on their own.
Yep, definitely. Leading off the bottom of the first for the Mustangs, Lydia Zaruba. Lydia is on a hot tear. Again, we talked earlier in the week. She was 2 weeks ago, she was hitting down around $1.20, and she's up to 351. So sounds like Lydia is basically getting on base almost every at bat in the last 2 weeks. So
yeah, softball's funny because there's so many games and there's so many opportunities, and it's just one of those, you can have a bad day and it takes you down a little bit, especially at the beginning of the year. But right here, we're in the middle and the meat of everything that's going on, and you get a couple of good games there. The next thing you know, your confidence is just skyrocketing. And now I'm hitting 350 or whatever you said she's at. She's going to pound this one right through the infield.
Yep. She's got the East defense moving, and ball 2 here.
And a lot of this right now, I think, is calculated from, Coach Slofsky and things like that. It's like, let's see what's going on. How are they coming through? We've said this before. Who's breaking in? Is the pitcher going to cover or is it going to be one of the fielders?
Greg, 2-1 the count.
I think those probably take all the way, don't you think, Jeff? And just take that first pitch, see what's going on. How long is it going to take? Tight zone. See how they're doing.
Yep. So in the circle for Des Moines East is Maya Hernandez-Howard. She's thrown 39 innings on the year. Here's something for you, Pat, you don't see every day at the softball level. Moines East softball has 8 pitchers.
Wow.
Zaruba, the fly ball to center field. It's base hit. Here goes Zaruba hustling to second base with a double.
Yeah, just like we said, a line drive right up the gut, just like that. That's what she's going to have to do. She's got to have that part of her game. You cannot rely on just dunking that thing and trying to find that open spot. She's got that now, and that's just going to progress as she gets a little older, a little stronger, a little bit more mature as she moves into the college ranks.
Yeah, here's right fielder Summer Campbell up to 289 on the year. Summer's a nice consistent player for us this year, and let's see if Summer can looking to bunt here.
Yeah, I think it's always important, and that's been kind of the telltale of this team right here. I know I've got hitters. I know I can knock them in, but I want to get the one in the bank. You always need the one in the bank right now. Let's get that one in the bank. You get one out right here, sacrifice, move them over, hit the fly ball, score your run, and then let it open it up in that second, third, and fourth innings.
Fly ball down the right field line and going to be out of play. 0-2 count on Summer Campbell. Zaruba on second base. Zaruba, I hope she's a great driver, Pat. I'm going to tell you why. I don't think she's seen a stop sign yet on the softball field. So
yeah,
I'm
doubt about
hoping,
that. She's a runner, isn't she?
I'm hoping that when she's in her car that she sees those little red signs. That's deep fly to right. Nice catch in the right fielder. Zaruba tags up and goes to third. Good at bat by Summer Campbell.
Yeah, that's doing
Way to
your
move the
job
runner over.
right there.
That was a great at bat. That sets you up.
Yeah, so now we're right back where we started, whether you bunt it, whether you hit the deep one. Everybody wants to hit the deep one, and now you got one of your best hitters coming up right here in Johansson.
Yeah, pitcher Johansson, 438 on the year. Homer, 13 RBIs. One down, Zaruba on third base. We've seen him bunt with Macy Riling in a similar position. Do you think they think about it here?
Oh, gosh, we're here to hit, man.
Yeah,
Hitting
right.
is more sexy than bunting, right?
We've seen Macy lay it down twice this year at home. So
that's right. But it doesn't matter who you are. This is how you win games right here, right?
Yep.
You're going to win games on the short game.
He shows the bunt.
It's close.
It's like
very, very tight zone, man. That first pitch to Aubrey was very tight. That was right on that outside corner. We've seen that called a lot this year. Very good eye behind the plate right now.
Yeah. 2-0. Here's the pitch. There's a strike.
Yeah,
2-1.
Right over the plate right
That was
there.
a really smart take by Aubrey, actually. Very good pitch on the outside corner. You're 2-0. You're looking to drive something hard to left center. Just not tip your cap to the pitcher and look for the 2-1.
How many home runs are we going to see today?
I think 3.
3? I was going to say 2, but I like 3.
I think we'll hit 2, and I think East will get 1. Oh, what a kick.
Tag up,
She
there you
hang
go.
it down the right field line.
This is kind of one of those, what do you do there, Jeff? Do you catch that ball and let the run score, or do you let that thing drop? That's the type of thing. So great RBI right there.
Great catch in right field.
That was a great catch. If she's left-handed, I don't think she catches that ball because she's running towards that fence right there. But Aubrey, again, right there, does her job right there.
Yep, 1-0.
And great base running by Zaruba right there. That's heads up.
Here's senior Macy Riling, 7 homers, 21 RBIs, still hitting 500 on the year.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I still amazed they pitched to her.
Well, now you can for sure. There's nobody. You're only going to get hurt by one run.
Yep.
The worst comes to worst, you're only going to get hurt by one. You end up with a couple on. It's like, all right, now I might put her on if I'm still in the game.
1-1 or who? 1-1 count. I think it's 2-0. Hard ground ball to short. Nice backhanded stop over to first, and a nice play by the East. Mustangs score 1. We go to the top of the second, 1-0. All right, Pat, back to the draft. Boy, I'm going back to a kid that had to go through some things here at DCG. Just a good kid. When she was here, Kim Townsend Sukup. Kim was dedicated to the team, very team first oriented, played many roles on the team, got some opportunity here and there, but she never really seemed to me, and of course I'm not in the dugout and I don't know this, but there was not a complaint or anything about her that show that she would complain ever at all. She just showed up every day. I think she was proud to be a DCG teammate. And I just had a lot of respect for how much time Kim put into it to try to make herself better. But she really genuinely, I think, cared for her teammates while she was here, and just admired her for her efforts out there.
Yeah, and you start looking at the kids, and you look at the parents, and you look at everything in between right there. It's just another one of them All-American families.
Yep.
Leading things off for East Des Moines will be third baseman number 12, Gracie Bailiff.
Here's Gracie Bailiff, Jr. For Des Moines East. 282 on the season for Gracie, Jr. Here's the first pitch for strike. Aubrey Johansson, 1 ball, 1 strike. Beautiful night here. This is an Iowa summer night. Settling in to be a beautiful night. Great to see a huge crowd here tonight.
This is what we deserve on a night like tonight. I mean, what a great night.
One ball, 2 strikes to Gracie Bailiff. Gracie scored 11 hits on the season, 11 runs. Fly ball to center field, and Abens picks it up on a hop, and Bailiff with a base hit to center field.
See, at some point defensively, that ball's up there a long ways. It's not an easy play by anybody, but I mean, it's kind of in no man's land, right? I mean, it's like in the Bermuda Triangle right there. There's almost no way unless you got extreme speed at one of those positions, but that's the one thing this team doesn't have is extreme speed at these positions.
Yeah,
that one's one that you hope doesn't happen in the regional finals to go to the state tournament.
There's a bunt base hit. That was by number 7, Olivia Dank for Des Moines East. Dank with a bunt hit. Olivia was hitting 264 on that bunt. Nicely positioned. Got to pass the pitcher for a base hit, and the East has got a rally going.
And that was one of the things that if you can get that ball into that spot, and if it can get by the pitcher, because the pitcher's got a lot going on, right? I mean, she's following through. She's trying to make sure, judging speed, going in, going out, location, a lot of things. That might be the place to go.
Yeah, here's Ava Blakeman for East turning around. She's a sophomore. Ava's hitting .188 on the season. She turned to bunt. If I'm East, I'm getting this bunt over.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt about it. This has always scared me. This is why I've never liked having my kids play third base for sure. In this case, third base, sometimes first. But, man, if you come back and just give that thing a little poke and we go right at you, I mean, it could be damaging to a defender.
0-2 is the count.
Boy, this would be a huge win for the Mustangs.
Grounder, Haley Yu with the play. She gets her at third base. Good play by Haley. Haley with a quick decision there. I really liked Haley hesitates at all there. We're in trouble.
Yep, that's right. Got there just in time. She knew.
Great immediate decision. Here's Brooklyn Purdy, freshman. Brooklyn's 353 on the season. Done that, and looks like she started in 9 of the 14 games. So,
well, she's definitely getting playing time. She's definitely in this position is not too big for her for sure. Base hit, and you're going to end up scoring one right here.
1 ball, no strike. Seeing a lot. And granted, Pat, we're only here for home games, but seeing a lot of freshmen and 8th graders playing more and more.
Wow.
At so early, right?
Yeah, and
in
you
all
wonder,
these programs.
I think especially in girls' sports, you need those younger kids to excel. You need them to be good. You need them to play. We don't have that luxury because we got like 100 seniors. But, you look at it, you need that. Oh, yeah, hell yeah, let's go.
What a catch.
Woo!
What a catch out there. Addie Abens, a freshman coming across. And again, Addie only can make that play if she hesitates at all. That's a double all the way to the fence.
And you got to have the mentality of what you're going to do. That's a game-changing play right there. That's one scored, runner on second, maybe two scored possibly, depending on what's going on right here. Huge play right there.
Yeah, saved a couple runs. Here's sophomore Ava Blakeman. Ava's hitting .188 on the season.
Addie Abens is going to be one of the big-time players and athletes that this school is going to see in a long time.
Yeah, we lose 13 seniors after this year, and we've seen, we've watched a little bit of, JV. There's a ton of talent waiting their turn, and whoever the next coach is going to be is going to inherit a lot of talent.
Yeah.
We've seen Tessa Jones on the mound, extremely impressed. The other young lady last week.
Woo! Oh, God, I thought he wanted to ring that thing up, Jeff. He was right there. He's like, he got caught up in it.
You got Tessa Jones on the mound,
He's
Kaylee
like,
Montag, to lead us forward after this year. So DCG softball.
Guarantee you, Jeff, this one's going to be a strike anywhere close if it goes by.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. First and second for East. The Scarlets wearing their red pants, black shirt, very sharp uniforms. I like the red and black look.
Yeah, it is nice, isn't it? I love it. It's mean. It's tough. It's East High.
Yep. Strike 3, and Aubrey Johansson gets us out of the inning. So no runs at top of the half of the inning. 1-0, bottom of the second, Mustangs.
Yeah, great inning right there. Here's my next pick, Jeff. Alexis Klaus.
Yeah.
She played here for a couple years. Her family ends up moving down to Winterset, gets into another great program. So Alexis Klaus is one that ends up being, one of the great kids, and players. And I just remember, I think it would have been 11, 12, so she would have moved in 13 in that season. And I remember Coach at our banquet said, this one hurts. And we've had kids quit. We've had kids transfer. That's the only time I can ever remember him saying, man, this one hurts.
Yeah.
And that's true, man. I mean, that kid, she was amazing, and she did great things for us. But if she could have stayed, or her mom and dad would have stayed here, and things like that.
Yeah.
That's just what life happens, right? I mean, that's the way it goes.
Here's senior Reese Burke leading off for the Mustangs. Reese has had a solid year this year. Reese hitting .408, and her average continues to rise. So, you know what? I know Reese isn't your typical leadoff batter, but almost every time we watch her lead off an inning, Pat, I'm going to predict, here comes a hit.
Yeah, she hits. If she can get the thing like horizontal, it's a lot of times that in the beginning innings she hits that ball down in the dirt, and it stops a lot of her power. If she can get underneath that just a little bit more and hit them liners, man, she's going to be a strong hitter.
1 ball, no strikes. Pat, 2-0 count here. My next pick is going to be Emily Ellerman. We talked about her a little bit. She's not here tonight, but again, Emily was here 11, 12, and 13, a pitcher. Helped Paige Lowry out when Paige needed a break. Did all the little things, did all the work, battled through some injuries to be out here. Was willing to do anything for the team, and she always, in my opinion, put the team first before herself. And so, again, just a great family. And Emily just really just represented what DCG effort and hustle was all about.
Yeah, for sure. I think you already picked her too, by the way, just so you know. I think you already picked her once, so you got her twice.
No, I did not take her. I talked about her earlier.
Oh, all right. Well, whatever.
I did not take her.
I'm going to make the Wolf family upset, and I'm going to take Bria Wolf and have her on 2 different teams, so they're going to have to go back and forth between practices, and it's not going to work from a travel standpoint. Bria, along with everything else, I mean, another one of the kids that did a lot of good things and just continued to battle and battle and battle, and strong kid, a lot like her sisters, both of her sisters from that standpoint. Those Wolf kids, man, they can play ball.
Yep. Yeah, this is Bella Mulder, second baseman. Bella's on a little bit. Looks like she's on a little bit of a hot streak. Average has climbed up to 326. She was hovering in the having a nice season at 280, but she's up to 326. So Bella's heated up here this week.
Well, she's had a couple good games against Newton and Indianola right there, and just pounding that ball hard. And when she hits the ball, it sounds different.
Yep.
It feels different.
Bella's
You can
got-
feel it in the stands.
Bella's got a homer on the season. There's a long drive to left field. Left fielder's back to the wall. It drops over her head. Bella hustling to second base. Double. Bella Mulder.
And this is, if you were to go back and look at that, she hit that ball probably right off of the tape. She didn't get, if she would have got a little bit, if that ball would have been back of the barrel about another half an inch, it would have been over the scoreboard.
Yep.
But still strong enough to get it to the warning track right there.
Catcher Amelia Ehlert hitting here. Amelia has 2 homers on the season, so looks like Amelia is added another homer this week, hitting .419. So Amelia stepping in after the injury to Liddon at catcher, and again, this shows the team depth. Stepped right in. We're not missing a beat, and Amelia's really played some really exceptionally good softball here the last couple of weeks.
Well, my next pick, I know I'm going Abby Larson.
All right.
Abby is one of our she grew up right down the street from us, and just one of the kids. She battle. She didn't play, I don't think, her senior year for whatever reason. It doesn't. But she was always there at the practices, always there. I mean, it's hard when, any pitcher. I mean, you always want pitchers. You always want pitchers. You always want catchers, right?
Yep.
You got to have that. If you don't have those two, and you got to have multiples of each, but you got to have those. And
Yep.
she came through a lot in a lot of different areas, and was able to really do good things for us. And I'm, just an all-world kid and all-world family too.
Yep, good call out. And my next pick is going to be Callie Schroeder. So Callie, actually, I grew up coaching her a little bit too. And Callie, I'll always remember, she kind of came to practice the first time, big, wide-eyed, like, super talented, kind of a little, started. I could tell was just going to be full of energy and was going to work really hard. And, a little bit kind of struggled a little bit at first. And not from an effort or anything, just it took her a little while. She grew pretty fast as a kid. And, but boy, big smile on her face at all times. She was an absolute pleasure to coach as a youth. And just tremendous.
Here we go. Get down. Nope, doesn't need to. Good job.
Just a tremendous family. DCG scores a run there. Ayler got the ball in place for us. Here's Haley Ewell. But Callie just biggest smile on her face all the time. And, again, a kid that really, really improved. I remember from like U12, U10 to U12, made leaps and bounds. And a great family. Everything that Grimes community is about. And Callie was definitely a part of that. So. Haley Ewell in the batter's box.
God, you remember last game here, Jeff? Third base was like the hot box of everything. Everything was going to third for both teams, Newton and DCG.
Yeah.
Man, highlight reel all over the place.
Yep. Haley had a great night. My son-in-law is listening in tonight from Bellingham, Washington, and enjoying Pat's excitement over that great catch in center field.
Oh, that was amazing.
You got a shout-out, Pat.
Thank you.
Yeah,
God, it shouldn't go to me. It needs to go over to Addie Abens. She's the athlete. She's the big-timer.
Yeah. So our one star fan of the game, or one and only listener right now. So thanks, Colin, for tuning in, and hope the golf game gets better before you go off to Scotland with your dad. So pretty cool moment for my son-in-law and his dad this year.
Right.
Ewell with the walk.
To the plate, center fielder number 19, Addie Abens.
And here's the player of the hour, Addie Abens, with that great catch.
So what have we said when you have those great moments in the outfield and things, that ball finds you, right? And let's see what happens at this at bat right there. She's going to do great things. 2
homers on the season, 419 for the freshman. Yeah, Addie's just going to be, like you said, just going to be one of the, if she keeps keeps doing the work, and I
you
trust that she will. She's going to be one of the DCG
Yeah.
greats at the end of her career.
And you wait, you go take Maddie Karp and you put those two right next to each other, and that's the same.
Yep.
It's the same body style. It's the same athleticism, the same strength right there. You know, right now as a freshman, a little bit younger, but man, there's going to be some big time action going through here.
Yeah, it was the first thing I thought about tonight when I saw Maddie. I go, hey, there's Addie Abens.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it's Maddie Karp. So, ground ball to short. Nice play by the shortstop. Oh, nice
Got her.
play.
Nice play at shortstop. Wow, that's an all-state play right there.
She's got a couple backhand plays out there.
Absolutely. All right, my next pick, even though it's still 2015 vintage, is going to be Michaela Digman. So I grew up right there in the circle, on Harvey Circle. We lived next to these guys for a long time. And those are the things right there that, you know, it is what it is. I'm going to take her on my team just because we played so many kickball games and so many times we've been out in the circle and things like that. Even though it doesn't matter what it is, I'm going to take her on my team right there.
Nice. Well, Pat, on my next pick, I mean, again, Shelby Freestone. Shelby currently was here for the 2015 team. I remember when she joined, and she had the same, Janae had the privilege of leading that young lady. They played the same position in the outfield, and I remember Janae working hard with her. And ironically, Shelby kind of became Janae's courtesy runner or pinch runner a lot. And, my daughter Janae could absolutely crush the ball, but Shelby could absolutely fly. So they kind of became a little 1-2 punch that our daughter's senior year in 2015. And so always remember Shelby kind of following Janae around and looking up to her. So something I always remember, and Janae as well.
So did you take Jordan Lillard?
I did not.
Well, then if you didn't take Jordan Lillard, I got Jordan Lillard.
There you go. Another kid I coached. Great
Yeah.
kid.
So, and actually, it's the things that you remember are kind of funny because her stepdad coached Cam back in the day on
That's right.
the little blueberries, or the blueberry bluebirds, I think is what they were. And so they had this deal. This is when eggs were pretty cheap. It wasn't like it was there not too long ago, where it was like $6 a dozen. But they brought like 6-8 dozen eggs out and some tennis rackets, and we sat out back and just waylaid on tennis rackets and eggs. And these kids were just covered from head to toe in egg juice. But that's the fun, right? I mean, that's the fun that you get. Yes, she was a great athlete. Yes, she was a great kid. Yeah, she's gone on to do great things. But all the things that you remember of these kids, that's the one thing I remember about them.
Nice. 1-2 strike here. This is Maya Hernandez-Howard in the batter's box. Maya's in 309, and Abens over to center field for the catch.
I'm going to make a bold statement, Jeff. That Maddie Abens is never going to come out of center field. She is going to be there for the next 3 years.
Yeah, maybe. Again, coaching change coming in. You don't know what the talent is. She can
Here
play
goes
probably
another one
anywhere,
right here.
and Abens cruises over. Yep.
It's so easy.
Mo
It's
Purdy
just
there. With
so easy.
that was Mo Purdy with the line drive to center. There's Cora Canoop, number 25.
So
2 down.
Yeah, you never do know, but I think she's going to just like, you want to compete? Let's compete. We'll just go down. We're going to get after it. I'm going to take in center field, and I'm not letting anybody in. My next pick, Taryn Golson.
Yeah.
Taryn was on my basketball team.
Yeah, that's right.
And,
that's right.
She was she's a big kid, strong kid, very athletic, one of the smarter kids, I think, on here. Wasn't she like a astrophysicist, PhD, no, civil engineer or whatever,
Yeah.
same thing.
She's
but,
civil engineer. Yep.
It doesn't surprise me from her because she's very analytical, but just one of those kids that always worked hard. It didn't matter what it was. In basketball, 7th, 8th grade, 6th grade, didn't make any difference. But even out here, it's challenging, right? I mean, it's tough to it's tough to be here all that time. But, you know, I love being around her mom and dad. I love being around her and all the things. Just a great kid all the way around. Loved it.
Yep. Canoop strikes out there. We go to the bottom of the third, 2-0 Mustangs. Yeah, let's keep on drafting here, Pat, because we're pretty much got about almost everybody that's here tonight covered, and I want to spend some time and brag about our 2015 class and our own daughters, because hey, when you get paid the dollars we do to do this, this is our pay tonight to brag on our own. But
we were offered a hamburger today, Jeff.
Oh, we were offered a hamburger today. You're right. So the pay went up. That's good.
Right.
But I'm going to give a shout out here to Gabby Rodriguez, and Gabby's younger sister Camila is on the current team, and I love seeing sisters pass down, and we've had the pleasure of having 2 daughters pass through here, and the Rodriguez family, kind of the same thing, a great family, and they've been around this program just about as long as you and I, right?
Yeah.
And Gabby joined, was on the 2015 team, incredibly strong kid, really worked hard, when. She had a big smile on her face a lot of times. I always enjoyed kind of watching her being out here, and just, a good family. I saw her here tonight. She's excited to always root for her sister, Camila. That's a family that supports each other, and that's something I've always admired with Gabby and the Rodriguez family.
If you remember back in 2019, we're at Ballard.
Yes.
And she basically wins that game by herself.
Yep.
I mean,
big hit,
the hitting,
big catch,
the catching, everything in center field. I mean, that to me is good. What I remember out of Gabby Rodriguez.
Yep. Yeah, that was a great night. That was definitely a Gabby Rodriguez.
That was one of the first games of the year.
Yeah, and it got us going in 2019. And every kid, you kind of want them to have that night, and you want to say, hey, that's the Haley Yule night. That's that's the Bella Mulder night. Every kid deserves that night where they
do. When you put your head on the pillow, you say, tonight was my night.
Yeah.
That was my night.
And that 2019 game out, that was the Gabby Rodriguez night. And I remember that kid's smile that night. Oh my God, that smile.
Yeah.
She could have flown home on her own.
Yeah, she did not need a ride.
Yeah,
she was on her own ride right there, no doubt about it.
Here's Zaruba. Zaruba's up for Mustangs leading off, 2-1 count. Zaruba with a double last time.
I'm not surprised about this score right now where it's tight. It's anybody's game. It's 2 hits to 2 hits.
Yep.
I'm glad that one went foul. That one got inside a little bit more than what she thought. She wasn't able to drag that thing through.
And first baseman Mo Purdy recognized that. She was trying to get there to keep it fair.
Yeah, right.
I could even see her flinch. I think Mo was thinking about diving and knocking it down. She thought about it. So that was a smart look there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pop up right to Mo Purdy, and there's the first out. That feels like maybe Zaruba's first out in a while.
I can't remember the last time she hasn't. If that thing would have hit the ground, she'd have been on second base.
Yep.
I mean, she's always on second base.
Here's Summer Campbell. Summer did a nice job the last time with the runner on second. She intentionally drove the ball to right field and advanced the runner. Smart hit to set up that first Mustang run for us. And again, cooling off tonight. Beautiful night here at the ballpark.
Yeah, I'm wearing my long sleeve 3-time state championship shirt, and I'm finally getting to the point where it's nice to be having it on.
Campbell to right center. And it's caught. Nice running catch.
And that thing stayed in the air forever, it seemed like. I don't know if the air is thick right now or what, but it.
Yeah, I believe that's the Ava Blakeman in right field. That was a nice running catch. Here's Aubrey Johansson.
Yeah, we're really not striking that ball hard right now, are we, Jeff? I mean, a lot of pop-ups, we've hit a couple on the nose.
Maya's doing a good job of throwing a little bit of a cutter and keeping the ball down around the knees. Doing a really nice job. Fly ball to center, 3 outs.
See, so when you have a team that continues to pop up, they're obviously getting underneath the ball a lot. So in this team, they want to hit the ball hard, right? So, I mean, a lot of is your trajectory of your bat typically going to be bottom to top like that, or what does that look like? I mean, I don't know. I mean, we've always said stay on top of the ball, try to stay on top of the ball.
Yeah, they want to get their hands above the ball, right? And then, the new way of hitting, right? I mean, when I was a kid, no, you got your hands, went straight through, but now it's getting the hands to the top of the ball and getting that barrel drag and giving that ball, some lift. Here's the thing with that swing. It is definitely more powerful than the swing you and I were taught as kids, right? We were all taught the Tony Gwynn way. Just get your hands moving, be quick to the ball, try to swing and be level. These kids today are taught get their hands above the ball, drive through it. Here's the thing with that, though. You got to have incredibly good balance in the batter's box, because if you don't, when you get your hands to the top of the ball, the barrel is going to stay in the strike zone much shorter if your balance is off, okay? And if you're pull happy, that swing is going to kill you, okay? Yeah. Because that's why when I watch these ladies and they're driving the ball to right center and left center, they can hit all day with that swing because it's a powerful swing. So here's Lily Robbins leading back up, freshman for East. We go to the top of the fourth, 2-0 here, Mustangs. So, Pat, we pretty much covered everybody here, and a lot of great memories, just some great games, and we'll get to our girls here in between innings the rest of the way. So,
and it's possible we missed somebody. Apologize for that. I'm sure there's probably somebody that, but.
Well, by my sheet, Pat, everybody that's here has been covered. So gets the easy out here, 1 down. And if we did miss somebody, we do apologize. Gracie Bailiff got a hit last inning, or 2 innings ago, last time up.
This is the way softball's supposed to be, Jeff. It's, some of these lower scoring games, and it's tactical. It's on both sides. It's strategic. It's quick. It's fast. We're moving in. We're moving out, and there's pace to the game.
Yeah, and we came in tonight, and Des Moines East has shown really good defense tonight. Statistically coming into the game, 43 errors in 23 games, so a little high. You in high school softball, you want it to be one error a game or less. That's a winning formula. But they've shown some athleticism. Right fielder Ava, made some really good catches, and base hit. Summer Campbell's going to first.
Got her!
They got her. Nice play, Summer Campbell.
Well, that's a huge play, right? You hate that as a batter, don't you? It's like you finally get one into the grass right there, and you throw them out from right field. But sometimes that's an easy play for an outfielder too. So it's just the luck of the draw.
Yeah, that's something DCG teaches. Every hit to first to right fielder, that throw goes to first base every time.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
If they're able to field it running in, that ball is going to first base. And even if it's not going to be close, the ball is expected to go there.
But you got to make the play, because if you don't make the play in the field and it gets by you, that's a triple at least.
Yep. Summer did a great job of measuring that, making sure she got a good hop, got it about waist high, and made a perfect throw to Reese at first base.
And that's probably one of the reasons, you start looking at the calculations of what you do from a coaching perspective, why we've had some of our best athletes in right field.
Yep. Here's Olivia Dank. Olivia had a bunt base hit last time up, a beautifully placed bunt that found its way between the pitcher and first baseman. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Man, those look good.
It looks a little down. Aubrey's throwing a really good, little bit of that cutter, sinker, getting good movement on the ball, so I don't mind her missing there at all, Pat.
Yep.
Good changeup. Very good pitch. Good 2-1 pitch. I like what Aubrey did there. She showed something inside, got the batter excited to maybe try to yank one down the line, but it was a perfect changeup and got her way out in front. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch by Johansson. Strike 3, and Mustangs are out of the inning.
Just
Bottom
like
of the
that.
4th, going to 2-0.
Yeah, you start looking at some of the stats for both teams, and a lot of parity between these two teams. It's a thin game, and it's a thin how they go through, but runs scored, East 5, DCG 8. Runs against, this is the big one, Jeff. DCG is giving up an average of 3 runs a game. East has given up over 7 runs, and that's where the kicker is in right here. So their defense obviously is one of the things that where they lack. They've got the hitting, they got the things they need, but sometimes the defense isn't there. They got about the same number of hits, excluding on the singles side. 132 singles they have to DCG's 108.
Yeah.
But you start looking at the power game, doubles, triples, and home runs, and DCG is doubling up East production.
Yeah, but give credit tonight to senior pitcher for the Scarlets, Maya Hernandez-Howard. She looks awesome.
She does. She looks very good.
She's throwing really well tonight. She's very controlled, throwing a lot of off different speeds, and got the Mustangs definitely a little bit off balance. But
this is our second time through the lineup now,
yeah,
too.
yeah, and I expect Macy to square one here. So I think Macy will get us going and see if we can break this open. Speaking of the devil, Maddie Carp in the house.
Maddie Carp.
Well, folks, we did ask all the players to come up and interview, but they said they've heard Pat and Jeff talk for 5 years here, and so they've all politely declined us.
Thank you, no thanks. Thanks, no thanks. And you know that, and a lot of that is the.
Well, let's be fair, Pat. They're here. It's a reunion for them. They're here to see each other and
right on,
and to share the memories and the funny stories. And I'm sure they're telling some good stories on the coaches, but any clean, funny stories we can tell on the coaches while we have the audience listening?
Gosh, I wish I knew. I just remember every once in a while, you start talking reaction time over at third base, and I remember Fissler smoked one over there and hit Coach right on the inside of the leg, and he's like, "Is that all you got? You can do better than that. Let's go." Claps his hands and keeps going. But he had to be freaking crying on the inside. That would have killed me.
Yeah. I got a couple of them. Definitely, there was the night we were up here in the press box, behind us and back then, I noticed these guys, in the press box now for us, Burke, they're down here, Mulder, they're down here running and getting, they're getting the lineups. But back in the day, the coach told us, hey, you stay up there. I expect us to bring. Oh, nice catch in right field.
Wow. What comes around goes around. We stole the one, and they stole that one right there. No doubt about it. Nice play on the
Ava
right
Blakeman
field.
in right field. Unbelievable play, the sophomore. Here's Reese Burke. But anyway, so it was kind of expected. Hey, I could. Back in the day, we could announce, hey, coach's reminder, bring your lineups in there. It was a doubleheader. It was hot. First game was one of those. It was Oskaloosa, and it was a marathon. It was one of those 11-8 games, and it was windy, so we had to treat the field with more water. So it was longer in between. So the lineups didn't come, and like a child that I was that night, I chose not to announce anymore. So I just kind of sat there. And we were beating Oski pretty good. About the 5th inning, I could see Coach on the bench. He kind of looked up, and I think he kind of figured out I wasn't announcing anymore. And he never said anything to me, but I'll never forget the look I got. So then, of course, we're beating him pretty good, and I think to prove a point, he puts my daughter in. Yeah. So then I had to announce.
Yeah, right on.
So I always remember that. Touche, Coach. Well done. But but I can always – and I never said anything. We never talked about it, but I laugh about it to this day because definitely I put my childish behavior up front instead of just doing it. But Reese Burke with a base hit to left. Another solid hit for Reese.
I mean, now we're getting through that second area of the lineup, second time through, and these kids are starting to stroke that ball pretty good. Macy Rowling, I mean, she was 1 inch from an inside the park home run.
Yeah, Bella got a double just short of the home run fence last time up, and again, they're starting to measure the pitcher here. So,
from a coaching standpoint, you look at all the different things. I mean, I've been doing this, well, not this right here, but up in the box for 10 years. That was we had kids play for 10 years.
Yep.
The whole thing. So I did the music the whole time, and there's expectations, and it doesn't, because this is a job.
Yep.
And if you can't be there, which I don't think I missed maybe 1-2 games in 10 years.
I only remember one.
And so you better have somebody else that can do it, or whatever the case is.
It was the worst music of our life because a friend of ours, when we will not name here, that played the music that night, and it was hideous, horrible, the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
So, anyway, number 10 is courtesy running at is Delaney Fetters, a sophomore, has entered in the game, running for the Mustangs at first base. And here's Bella Mulder. Yeah, one other good thing. The COVID year, 2020, we had to be here.
Oh,
and
that was nice.
And so to help with the COVID year, we put my cell number in the dugout so they could send a picture of their lineups.
Oh, yeah.
And I won't name the team, out of respect, for telling this story, but certain team's coach texted us in the third inning after he went to the mound and told us to turn the music down, only to have Pat O'Brien turn the music up next time he went up.
That was it's like, look, this is our home field. Everybody has home field advantage. When we were doing this, the speakers would vibrate. The people in Dallas Center would be upset, and I'm like, I don't care. This is about the kids, and we're gonna get the best music that we can, and we're gonna play it as loud as we can. And everybody's gonna know in Dallas Center, Iowa, that there's a softball game going on.
Yep. 3 balls and 1 strike to Mulder. Delaney Fetters running at first base for the Mustangs. Ball 4. Good at bat by Mulder.
Do you think she's happy right now?
No, Mulder likes to hit the ball.
Yeah.
Mulder did her job. She got a walk, but as they say, Mulder likes to get paid in hits.
Yeah.
Almost every DCG player does because they're a hitting group. But here's Amelia Ehlert, but I can appreciate Bella loves to hit. I appreciate that she stood there and does the right thing for the team.
Right.
It's easy to be.
You got to do. You have to.
It's really
right?
easy to be selfish there.
Yeah.
Really easy, and she doesn't. So I admire that.
Well, and I think you look at what got you here today. What happened last year that's not happening right now, and maybe it's all these things, these little things collectively, and boom, then you come through here.
Yep.
It's like, hey, stay right there. We got more hitters coming up.
Yep. Ehlert with a solid single, and here comes another courtesy runner for Ehlert. I'm going to guess it's going to be – I'm going to wait. I'm not going to guess.
Yeah.
I'm not in guessing mood with Coach tonight.
Yeah.
He's smarter than me, and I'll be wrong every time, so I'm not going to guess with him.
Running for Ehlert will be number 5,
Yep.
Jenna Morrison.
Jenna Morrison, Jr., for number 5, courtesy running for Amelia. Great hit by Amelia. Bases loaded for Haley Yule. It's good to see, we know the top of the order. We know the Johansson, Burke, Reiling, Power.
Yeah.
It's really fun right now to watch the Mulder, Yule, Ehlert starting to hit. And every
all
time
these ones that come
every night
through.
we show up here, their averages are climbing.
Yeah.
Their bats are getting better. They're already good hitters. They're getting better every night. Mulder the first couple weeks is like, yep, this is a good hitter. It's going to take her a little bit. But, man, she looks super confident up there.
Oh, we haven't had that. That's the first one I've seen that low and that far outside. So.
Bases loaded for the Mustangs. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th. 2-0. Your Mustangs are up. Pitch. Blooper over second base.
Get ready to go, boys. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh, you should have gone to second base. It's hard when you're out there right there in that situation because you want to stop the run. You know you need to do that, but you got to get an out in that situation.
Here's comes the coach, and this is what's going to – the coach is going to either – if I'm going to the coach, I'm going to the umpire here. I'm challenging that this should be an infield fly, Pat. I believe the batter.
Well, that's exactly. I think that's where he's going. That's where he's going right now.
Yeah,
this
should be an infield fly in my opinion, and Yule should be out. The only thing that the umpire could rule in the infield ride rule, the umpire must rule that the fielder has established position to catch the ball in a routine manner. He could have ruled that because of the footwork or almost tripped, a little stumble there that maybe she wasn't.
Yeah. I think you're right, and I think the East coach is right. That's infield fly.
Yep, and they're going
Right?
to let it. They're going to let it stand. So I think the umpire.
So whose call is that? That must be
That's
the out.
well,
I mean,
I think in this situation when it's on the second base side, I think that's the umpire home plate would have that would be the base umpire. That's where he went.
yeah, that's where he went to.
So 3-0. I think DCG got a little bit of a break there. Again, I think that's a judgment call, so we'll take the break. But
Well, you can't go back and say infield fly now.
yeah,
Because you gotta. That's one you have to. It's like it's not reviewable.
Yep.
Because you can't go back because everybody advanced.
Yep. Addie Abens here with one out could break this game wide open. 3-0 Mustangs. 1 strike the count. Here's the pitch. Nice block in the dirt.
And this is the one right here. This could be Addie Avens. That could be her opportunity right here, the freshman in a stage right here to go ahead and break this game wide open.
Yeah, it was a great block by Cora behind the plate for Scarlet. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch.
Oh, my God, the cut, Jeff. That's what – woo!
Yeah, that's
like it, man. That's all right there.
That's I got it where I wanted it.
And it was up there. It just
Yeah.
oh, my goodness.
Yeah, Addie might wake up in the middle of the night and go, oh, I should have hit that. 1-2. There it is. Line drive to left field. 1 run in for the Mustangs. Holds up the runners and base hit for Ebens. RBI single. 4-0 Mustangs.
Yeah,
She wasn't going to miss it again.
No, she wasn't going to miss it again. I mean, you just look at her swing right now, her confidence and everything that Addie's got going on, man. I mean, she's a big timer. There's no doubt. Obviously, you can tell that I like her. She's out there in the basketball court. I got her on the basketball. I get her here. It's just amazing.
Yep, going to be fun to watch. A lot of these Mustangs are going to be in good shape next year. Back to the top of the order, Zaruba. We got a lot of options here, Pat. We could squeeze in a run. We could slap hit this.
Why would you not give it a go right now? You got a 4-run lead. There's 1 out.
Yep.
You know you're not going to get out at first base.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a double play. This could be a practice type thing.
Yep.
Put that thing down. See if we can't get this for later on in the year.
Zaruba showed the bunt and was definitely taking because Coach wanted to see where East was rotating.
Yeah.
So he must have not have seen the rotation he wanted. So it looks like he's going to let Zaruba swing away.
You know, I think Coach Slofsky needs an earbud in there that we can talk to him and say, we want you to call this play right here, just to see what happens.
Right.
I think that would be awesome.
I don't think Coach will ever let us have an earbud in direct line to him because, well.
We don't know anything.
Yeah.
Because we don't know the signs. We don't know the signals. We don't know any of the kids. We don't know this.
I used to know all the signs and
And
used
we're
to sit
horrible.
here and privately know them, and now I sit in here and he's flashing numbers at him. I'm like, I did offer, trying to find a player
There you
that's going to
go.
sell me their secrets. Base hit for Zaruba.
Oh, my goodness. You got to hustle.
Yeah. Good smart play by the right fielder. Almost caught a runner at DCG, but 5-0.
Yeah, that's going to there's a learning opportunity right there. That was way closer than it really should have been at second base.
Yep. Smart play by right fielder. Summer Campbell. See if the Mustangs can really break this open and almost put it away here soon. Big inning brewing.
Yeah, we're getting right there, Jeff. I mean, we're getting to the point right now. We got to start talking about 2015 because this gets we'll start getting up there. We get the 10-run rule.
All righty. Well, obviously 2015 to you and I, Pat, is always going to be near and dear to our heart. And any time it's your own daughter, it always means a little bit more. That's normal for any parent. All of our daughters, we're good, respectful friends and teammates for a long time. A lot of them still friends after school, in different ways. But they had mad respect for each other and they worked hard. And I think of the roles that some of them, I think one of the really cool things is that you look at that class and, you think about fly ball to center field. and Campbell's going to get a sac fly here. And DCG's going to get another run, 7-0. So I always laugh about our daughters were probably the third year that even weekend travel ball was going on, right?
Yep.
I can remember Lowry's group. They had a team, and then I think Jeff Wolf, that was Jeff Wolf was the coach then, and then remember Jock Blackman had a team, and Jock was probably one of the first ones that started, and then Wolf kind of took it, and then it was us. So travel ball was kind of new, and it was a big it was a big thing when you're growing up. I got to be on A team. Got to be on A team.
I got to be on the DCG Red. I want to be on DCG Red.
And the thing is I kind of tracked it over the years, and I'm not going to share numbers of what I know. It doesn't really matter, but my daughters are both. I mean, my oldest was on B team a lot. She was younger. Her birthday was late spring. She was a good player, but was developing. And then even when my youngest, which was a much better player when she was younger, I was wanting to coach the B team, and I had a lot of board members. I remember at the time going, "Why does he want to do that? Like, why is he going to be on the B team?"
Yeah.
And because base hit by Johansson right there. Yep. Yeah, two more runs
right there.
But my point is that I just wanted my kid to play. It didn't matter what team I was on. I wanted opportunities, right? And I knew my daughter would get opportunities more on the B team to experience more positions. And she could have been on A team, but probably this is not a disrespect to anything, but then as you grow up, you got to look at where your true opportunities are. It's cool to be on the A team, but if you're no disrespect to anybody, but if you were the 10th person, 11th person,
right,
what truly was your opportunity? Yeah, you're on A team. You're with your friends. You're with the cool kids. But what truly was your opportunity?
Right.
And I always thought B team was more developmental. I thought it was a little bit less pressure, and I did it for my kids because I wanted them to play and not. I wanted them not to have that pressure when they were younger. I wanted them to not fear making a mistake. I wanted them to play hard and accept failure as a chance for growth. So I made that decision for my family. I guess what I'm getting to, you look at the roster in 2015, and that was really kind of the first class that made it to their senior year that was a mix of A and B kids.
Yep.
For the most part.
Right.
And then if you've kind of watched the history, our older girls, it's been a mix of A and B teams. So we got there. And again, some of it was we were only the third year of being a travel program in Dallas Center Grimes. So I thought that was just kind of cool in the moment. I know it's a long-winded story. And obviously, our two kids, I told you this before. I mean, Allie, I loved it. Allie always played so hard, but I loved it when she got mad because I knew then she was going to take over the game.
Right. Yeah, she had a little fire that direction too. So, when you start looking at what those kids at the 2015 class, everybody before them, it started with the seniors from when they were in 8th grade, right? I mean, It started with that crew, and then it just evolved from everything. So you got, Holly Baker and Ashton Yassi and Chris Messerschmidt and Jackie Schmidt. They're the ones.
Yeah.
And we said this in one of the other broadcasts, if you want to call this, that they are the ones that set the tone for excellence.
Yep.
And it was Casey Schlafke before that.
Yep.
And then before Casey, there wasn't a lot of tradition. There wasn't a lot of anything going on in DCG softball, but Casey Schlafke started it and then got into a group of kids from Dallas Center and Grimes and set that tone. And they're the ones that really started it. And then we just got lucky, really, and we just had an infusion of athletes.
Yep.
But the one thing that we had is we had a few softball players.
Yep.
And if you're going to be a basketball or softball or football, you got to have somebody. You need to have athletes, but you need softball players. You need people that are going to excel in this and going to work at this. So that way you've got those kids. The same thing in basketball and everything else. Nice play by the shortstop right there.
Yeah, Riley makes the play on Honey Hannah up there, a senior, number 6 with a ground ball.
Yeah, so that senior crew of 2015, they go to the state tournament, which, is the first time in a long time for Dallas Center Grimes. And they win a game, and then they lose a game, and then they come up to Carlisle
2011.
in
Yep.
2011. And in my mind, that was the greatest game
Yep.
that we were the happiest that we've ever been.
Yeah.
I mean, we won that state, but that first state championship, everybody's happy. But the world stopped when we got third place,
Oh yeah.
right? I mean, it was amazing. I mean, everybody's on the high, and it wasn't just, Carlisle's a natural rival for DCG. But we finished with a win.
Well, I think that's when DCG started to believe that they belonged, because Carlisle was the gold standard at
Right.
that time.
Oh, yeah.
You had to beat Carlisle. Everybody around here was Carlisle. You got to beat them.
Yeah.
They're the gold standard. So, yeah, we beat them. And I think from that point on, these kids started to believe. It was like, hey, we do got something going good here. And it became a great rivalry, a lot of great rivalries in Central Iowa. But that became a rivalry of emphasis because we were chasing the gold standard at the time.
Right on. So then you move on to the next year, and you've got one senior in Karen Eilers.
Yeah.
And I told you the story about, I don't know if we're going to have a spot for you, Karen. We got a lot of young talent. We got this, and things like that.
Well, Issa has something going here in the top of the first. First of all, Brooklyn Purdy got a base hit, and that's followed right up by Ava Blakeman with a hit. So here we go to Maya Hernandez-Howard. So with one out, Scarlets have something going, 2-1.
That's right. So then you go back, and you're like, that was the tournament that we scored we gave up one run in the entire state tournament, and we did not win.
Yep.
That has got to be a record that will stand forever. I mean, if you give up one run in the state tournament, that is a ridiculous stat right there.
Yeah, as great a career as Paige Lowry had here, I think that 2012, her 2012 state tournament appearance was the most dominating performance of 3 games I've ever seen.
Yeah.
She was lights out, great. I mean, it was unbelievable. Ground ball to Reiling, over to Ewell. Nice play to get the force out. Reiling to Ewell, set 2 down. Yeah, Paige Lowry was as magnificent a pitcher as 3 days could ever entail.
You want to talk about workhorse, big time. Our defense was big time. But the pitching at that time was different. I mean, there was Division I pitchers all over the place.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable, and they were stacked. I mean, we had the best, probably the best pitcher in the state, and maybe the 5th or 6th, 8th best pitcher in Rachel, and the ability to strike the ball and get a run and get any luck or something like that. We get into the state championship game, and it all comes down to one throw, and that's how you end up getting, basically losing. That was the worst game. That was the worst feeling we've ever had, I think, from a team standpoint, was going home and getting second place. And that really, I think that feeling is what fueled those next 3 years.
Yep. We do have a courtesy runner at first base. We did not get the number. Pat, do you have a number on the young lady down there? Is this number 28? Is this Maya Martin? Can you give me a number? Ooh, Mo Purdy
Nice.
line drive.
There's a run save right there.
Oh. Mo Purdy absolutely hit a laser. What a
Yeah.
swing. What a great swing.
So now you go to the championship years, which, there's probably a lot of people. It's like, man, I'm getting tired of hearing Jeff and Pat and everybody talk about these. I mean, but, man, this is something that is probably not going to happen for a long time. I mean, can it happen again? Yes, but it's going to take commitment. And the one thing that I remember out of all of that, especially the 2012 year, 13 year, is, man, it was work. And it was relief.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I don't know as if it was a lot of fun. The coaches, they may have said, oh, we're having a great time. This is great. Well, I'm
No.
telling you, it was diarrhea time half the time. It was work. It was tears. And that's what I remember out of that, where you're like, oh, my God. the mental drain, the mental fatigue, the physical fatigue. That is, so when you see these kids succeed and you see these things that happen that are very good, you have to celebrate the successes.
Yeah, and I remember that first title. The team was not as excited as I thought they would be. Of course they were, but the 2011 third place celebration was a lot. We all we all talked about, well, they weren't even close to the 2011 celebration. Well, again, they wanted it so bad.
Yeah,
they got a taste of it in 2011. They got it taken away from them in 2012 at the last minute. They wanted it so bad.
Yeah.
And when you want something so bad, sometimes when you get it, you don't you're drained. You're done. Because they've been working on it for 3 years.
And you go back into the regional final. You like this team last year. They get hooked up with Adele, and they don't come away with the win. We had that same exact thing happen with Boone, with a shot out to right field, and Danny Heritage grabs a ball from the right fielder, Jackie Payton, at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And gets her out at first base, but Jackie wasn't throwing it to first base. She was throwing it home. And that's a lucky thing right there that went our way, and we were able to scratch a run in that next inning, and that's just the way it went. Thank you.
Reese Burke again. Oh, base hit. And Reese Burke again with a leadoff hit. I tell you what, I want Reese Burke to lead off for me more because I tell you, she starts most big rallies that we've seen this year.
Yeah, well, we got we're probably going to put our 2 runs up in this inning. So,
here's Bella Mulder.
We've talked about the 2014 team.
Yep.
In my mind, that was the greatest high school softball team in the state of Iowa, maybe of all time.
Yep, I agree.
There's nobody that can convince me. There's always gray area out there, right?
Yep. Well, let me put it this way, and this is a very – people listening that are not DCG fans, or even if you are, you're going to say this is biased. Our JV team in 2014 would have made the state tournament.
Yeah.
With Rachel pitching.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Okay.
No question.
Because that's how loaded it was.
Yeah. We had all conference players that didn't start.
Yep. Mulder with a sacrifice bunt there. Moves runner over. Amelia, the base hit to left. And
you go back and look at that play, Jeff, right there, and look at the smart base running right there. You come up there, and Reese looks at it. It's like, all right, I got to make sure that hits the grass, hits it, and I'm taking off. That's great base running right there.
Yeah, I what a shout out to Amelia Eller to have an injury to a starting catcher go down, and Amelia, talking about being ready for your chance. Wow.
Right.
Okay. Jenna Morrison in the courtesy run for Amelia.
Yeah, you never know when your time's going to come, right? I mean, and you got to be ready. But that just goes to the depth. Yeah. That if you're going to be a great team and you're going to go to the state tournament, you need that depth. You need another pitcher and you need another catcher.
Yeah, and that's what I think right now. This year's DCG team, the more we're watching them, the defense is getting better every night we see them. The depth, we watched. Let's try to steal home on this play. And it works. DCG scores a run, 9-0. So, Pat, really quick, 2015. So now Paige Lowry has moved on. We get off to a rather slow start. We had a lot of injuries. Allie was down. Rachel was down for a little bit. Paige Shannon was down for a little bit. We had a lot of injuries. We got off to kind of a leaky start.
It was tough.
And we were only 28-14 during the season. But I remember going to Oski, then number 1 Oski, and winning a game 2-1, I believe, in a great game where we had everybody back, right? Everybody had come back in that, and then we just kind of get rhythm, and then I remember our first night, and this is what the beautiful thing about high school softball is: we get a bye, we win our first game, and then we're all hanging out afterwards, and all of a sudden scores come in, and Carlisle loses, and winners. I mean, we got a tremendous break, right? So then we run up to Fairfield, and then we play the longest game in state history, and I don't know about you, but I think we won 9 times and lost 8 times.
It was.
The emotion of that game was unbelievable.
I have my own spot right over the dugout.
And Addie Abrams with the base hit and 10
that's
runs,
and that's going to be the game winner right there.
So, yeah.
And, that game right there, I was up, I was down. I was up. We won it, we lost it. We won it, we lost it. And, in the end, we were able to come away with You know, that crew was able to come away with their own state championship. They earned that themselves. Rachel, Paige, you know, and Paige Chano, Janae, and Allison, and everybody
Lexi,
else. That
Jenna
Lexi
Humke,
Rosa, Humke, you know, all these kids. And Jenna Humke comes through with the great catch there in left field during that game. And it's like, if she doesn't make that, you know, it's a totally different game.
Yep.
Lexi does the same thing, hits a bomb, and, you know, I mean, just all these different things that come through to make good plays and things like that.
Well, and that was the game. That was the game that the seniors, you know, Rachel Lowry pitched amazing. She kept us in the game. We were up 2-0. Winterset got a rally. They got 2 runs, and I think it was the 4th or 5th inning, right? Yeah. And we were playing well. And then Janae comes up, doubles right away. You know, it's 2-2. Janae doubles, gives courtesy run. You know, Allie steps up, drives in a run. We're up 3-2. Paige Chano steps up, hits a home run. Now we're up, you know, 4-2, 5-2.
Yep.
And then I think Winterset kind of chips away again at us. And then Paige Chano steps up, Lexi, between Paige and Lexi, they both homer to put it away. Jenna Humke. It was that game where the 5 seniors all had their moment, right? Yep. And along with the other teammates. I'm not saying, you know, Rachel, we needed everybody else, but we talked earlier about you always have that game. It's like, well, this, you know, we talked about Gabby Rodriguez. Well, it was the Gabby Rodriguez game. But that night, for 5 seniors that went through everything together to try to win a state tournament with a great team. It
was all 5 of their night.
Yeah. And they had it together. And to watch them just chip away together, and you could tell. Like I told my wife, I said, we're not losing this game. She goes, why? Because look at our girls' faces. They're dead serious. They're confident. And they're just not going to let us lose.
Yeah.
And Rachel Lowry was on the mound, and she had the same look. The defense was sharp, but they had that look 5th inning on. We were not losing.
Yep.
And I knew it was over.
Yeah, there was a lot with that. And one small clarification. Allison did have a 2-run bomb in that game.
Sorry,
so.
you're right.
So I'll make sure I give her that shout out. She's early to go through this. But anyway,
Allie,
let's. I'm going to give one more shout out to the producer, Mike Bynum, the guy that was able to get all this going. Personally, he had a place that he needed to be. This was just one of those things that where we were at. Those are some of the things that we got to do. And also, God, I forgot his name. I got my sheet down here. Tate, you the man, brother. 12 years old, Tate the man. He's out here getting things done. So say hey to Ella. I'm hoping she's doing her dance great. And, hey, it's time to go out and start talking to some people, Jeffy.
Yeah, and shout out to our sponsor again tonight, First Street.
First Street Tavern, man. Let's go.
First Street Tavern. Check them out this weekend. Good place to get a cold drink, watch a game, hang out with some friends. And thank you for your sponsorship. And again, ask for your Pat O'Brien 10% discount. Let me know how that goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
All
right, signing out. We will talk to you. Our next game is going to be next week, Wednesday, I believe we said we were at.
Yep, we'll be here a couple times next week. I think we got a Wednesday. I think I saw softball night, girls softball night is one of those nights. Always a fun time of a bunch of future Mustangs out here, and it was great to see a lot of friends tonight. And, we need to get on out of here and catch up with them. So final tonight, 10-0 here, Mustangs over Des Moines East Scarlets. Appreciate all 4 of you listening in tonight, and have a great and safe weekend. Happy Father's Day to all fathers out there. We'll catch you next week, Mustang fans, here in Dallas Center. 10-0 Mustangs tonight. We're signing off. Have a good evening.